Joe Murray. I happen to trust Joe Murray.
First time I ever met Joe Murray was at...
All right, welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray here all night long with you on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We're also on YouTube tonight. Get in on the action. Go to youtube.com. Then search 98.5 The Sports Hub. And then you'll see me right on there, my beautiful face. That's right, my big, beautiful face here for the rest of the night on 98.5 The Sports. And we're going to be reacting to the Patriots' loss yesterday to the Raiders. And I had a lot to say. I was on yesterday post-game, so I'm going to recap a lot of it. We got a lot of audio for you tonight as well. And I do want to just get into a bunch of stuff. Really, the three main topics tonight: Patriots fallout. Do want to get into a lot of the stuff that Mike Vrabel said today as well, and just what went right, what went wrong, and what was the turning point in the game yesterday. So we'll have that for you. The Red Sox, they're continuing their road trip. Tonight they'll be in Sacramento against the A's. And Garrett Crochet is on the mound, so we'll have a little bit of Red Sox stuff throughout the night as well. But it's all Patriots rest of the way, and you at 617-779-0985. There's a lot going on here when it comes to the Patriots. If anything, I was extremely underwhelmed is the word I would use. Patriots lose to the Raiders. These are the things that we talked about on the show. So, you know, if you listen every night, like a lot of you do, I try to bring up things that happen at practice, the storylines. We have guests on every week, every night, and we talk about the stories at camp. And we'll have Doug Kyed on today from the Boston Herald, who we've talked to about it. They had an article about Drake May and his jitters. We talked about this 2 to 3 weeks ago. And what did you see on display? Drake May had the early jitters in the game. He was sailing passes. He missed open receivers. He had happy feet. He was tentative while running. He could not check or go through his cadences or his checkdowns. He just was locked in on a player. And when nobody was open, he would just try to run. He had to delay a game. And on that delay a game on a 4th and 5 on the biggest play of the game, he was not communicating with anybody. Like, when you really think about it, his turnover changed the game. Patriots had the lead. And Will Campbell struggled when it mattered most. False start, had a holding penalty. There was really no push from the line in general. 60 rushing yards for the Patriots, their lowest since 1996, and they barely even tried to run the ball in the second half. And this is why I bring up the Josh McDaniels offense. I've talked a lot about what the responsibilities are for a quarterback in the McDaniels offense. And I just want to remind you that the Patriots this year had Drake May as their quarterback and went and brought in Josh McDaniels, somebody the rest of the league didn't want. And they're running his offense. And now Drake May is starting from scratch. The same Drake May that has bad footwork, right? Tentative, doesn't really go through his progressions that well. And now he's learning this offense. So for the people that say, oh, identifying the mic and you know, having the line protections and all that, why is that so hard for him? It's because he's not ready for that. He needs to continue to work on his accuracy, his footwork, his decision-making, his everything. He's now starting all over again with a new offensive coordinator. So to think that this would just work, and I'm not defending Drake May by any means, when you're the number 3 overall pick, there's a lot of expectations there. But if I can nitpick okay on the Josh McDaniels offense, how about the fact that you punt the ball 6 times in a row? You had pitch plays. You couldn't run the ball. You barely didn't even run the ball at all in the second half. There were no deep balls, and you had no answers for simple cover 2, cover 3 defenses. You've been out of the league for a year. He made no impact at all in the game. And I'll say it louder in case you didn't hear it. Josh McDaniels and his offense made no impact at all in the game. Let's get it on the defensive side. Hey, they only gave up 20 points. That's great. Without Christian Gonzalez. I think they could have won this game without Christian Gonzalez as well. There were a lot of blitzes. And then at times, they were dropping Milton Williams and Christian Barmore into coverage. Oh, you got torched on the opening drive. Jalen Hawkins was getting exposed. Yeah, he had an interception. But how many big third downs did they give up? That's on coaching. Coaching. Vrabel's decision to punt with 4 minutes left, down 10 points, showed zero urgency. I'm almost wondering, did they not trust Drake May or believe that they could convert on 4th and 10 with 3 timeouts? Instead, he puts the punter out there and he shanks one 21 yards. The team had no juice in the second half. That's on coaching and Mike Vrabel. Last year, Gerard Mayo, take him to the hill. There was none of that here. None of that here. These are just the facts, people. Pete Carroll outcoached Mike Vrabel. Geno Smith outplayed Drake May and torched the Patriots defense. Chip Kelly was better than Josh McDaniels. The Raiders were a better coached, better managed team yesterday, and the Patriots played bad football. For all the talk that Mike Vrabel mentioned about beating up on bad football, you were the bad football that was getting beat up on yesterday. The big storyline is going to be Drake May and his progression in game 1 of year 2. Where I look at it is, I did not feel an impact at all by Mike Vrabel or Josh McDaniels. Things looked better overall. They did. But there's a lot of expectations. A lot of expectations. I thought at times they looked worse with the results. They'll take on a Dolphins team that just lost 33-8 to the Colts, who did not punt at all in the game, something that hasn't happened since 1991. The Patriots are 8-28 in their last 36 games. They haven't scored more than 30 points in 46 games. They're 3-15 their last 18 games at Gillette Stadium. So, of course, a lot of you have hope for all the new things that are going on. All I can tell you is this. The home opener, losing the way that they did in week 1, it was a very, very familiar outcome. Very familiar. And I dare someone to call in and tell me you felt the impact of Josh McDaniels' offense and being an offensive coordinator. And really, Mike Vrabel conceding the game. He talks about effort and finish. You conceded the game, punting it away on 4th and 10, down 10. I'll tell you where the game went out of hand. New regime, bringing hope to people. As we say here on a nightly basis, hope is one of the worst things. And right now, you better hope they can turn this thing around and Drake May's better than what we saw yesterday. We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. Again, opening take brought to you by Super Service Today, day or night. Always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. We'll take a quick break. Skaz is back. We'll get his thoughts as well. I do want to let you hear just some of the audio that happened from yesterday. We'll have that for you coming up next. I'm Joe Murray. Join us on YouTube as well. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Oh, the turning point in the game yesterday. Drake May's interception. That's where the game changed. Actually, let me take a few steps back on where I thought the game changed. And again, the number here is 617-779-0985. We're here all night. We'll talk to Doug Kyed. 8:20 today from the Boston Herald. He had a couple of he was there when Mike Vrabel said or was asked, is Drake May doing too much? Which I'm ready to unload on that one. We're also on YouTube. Shout out to the fam who's already in there. I see Sir Droids, Jim, Adam, Tom G, Sean, Matthew Harnet's always in there. What's up, buddy? Tommy G, Creeby, Seaside, all you guys. Thanks for joining us here on the chat. I think where the game really changed. Yeah, the interception, I think, took the wind out of the sail. Where the game really changed was they had a chance to score before the half. And this is what Josh McDaniels picked. And I'm sorry for the people that listen to this show and think that I'm just an offensive coordinator hater. Maybe that's like, Skaz, maybe that's something I need to, just be honest about, is that I am a offensive coordinator hatist. Is that even the word?
Some are saying you have an agenda, Joe.
Well, this is not an agenda. And we have to talk about something that Skaz is rocking today that I just noticed for the first time. We'll get into it in a little bit. But it is funny because on Friday night we talked about this, so that's why you weren't even here. So
boy.
That's why this is going to be great. I last year I used to call him Alex Van Punt. They punted a lot, Alex Van Punt. Now I was starting to think yesterday maybe they should be making a punt the Patriot, instead of pat the Patriot. But I was disgusted yesterday, personally, and offended. And I know that you and I'll take the heat. So you're just going down with me. Is that Mike Vrabel was not our first choice. And Josh McDaniels was not the first choice. So I want to say the changing point of the game was right before the half. They did a running play, a little like screen pass to the left, and then Ramondre Stevenson up the gut, stuffed, and then they punted it back to them. Those were the calls by Josh McDaniels. When you have a chance to chase it downfield or make a big play or just something different. Instead, we got same old Josh McDaniels crap. Because that's what it is. It's crap. Those play calls were junk. Those were junk. That's stuff that's been in the junk drawer for years. And they've been getting away with it. Now I'm getting a little pissed off. Because during the game, I go, I'm not going to blame Josh McDaniels. But I hated that, and I think that's where it started, Skaz. They got the ball back, had the big play, got the 1 second left. They missed a 58-yard field goal, but they had momentum. And then the Pats get the ball out of the break, and then the interception happens, and it went, whew. It was like a roller coaster, just fell apart. So anyways, I felt like McDaniels and Vrabel had no impact at all in the game. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think the frustrating part about yesterday for me was that it wasn't a surprise. That, we last week we said Geno Smith is good. Geno Smith is a good quarterback. I think that gets overlooked at times. I think we both thought the Patriots were going to lose this game. I think we both thought that, we're not Josh McDaniels guys, not exactly thrilled about the Mike Vrabel hire either. And that's not, I'm not trying to, pat us on the back or anything like that. But for me, nothing yesterday was a surprise. And that's where I think the frustration comes from, because this team was supposed to be different this year. They were supposed to look more competitive. They were supposed to not have bad penalties. They were supposed to not let up 3rd and 20s. They were supposed to be a better, more fundamentally sound football team. I think that was, we talk about, the bar for expectations and how low it's been for this Patriots team. That bar was supposed to be at least slightly raised heading into this season, and you didn't see much of that at all yesterday. And the Josh McDaniels thing, I think there's tons to dive into there with McDaniels, but you watch him call a game and we know what Josh McDaniels is. We know it's third down, check down. We know it's screen pass, check down, these little plays. And yeah, that works when Tom Brady is your quarterback. When you have the greatest quarterback who's ever lived, making the right decision, the right read every single time, it's easy to call those plays and for those plays to be successful because Tom Brady is going to execute them. When your quarterback is second-year Drake May, who is number one, not Tom Brady, and number two, not the same style of quarterback as Tom Brady. Drake May is more of a gunslinger, more of a guy that wants to push the ball downfield. You're asking him to make quick, smart decisions regularly. He's not in the mind set to do that yet. He's just not there. So yeah, all of that was, very frustrating, not a surprise at all, but I just think we heard all offseason Josh McDaniels is going to tailor this to Drake May. He's learned. Josh McDaniels has learned from his experiences. He sat on the sidelines and watched tape, and he knows quarterbacks, and he's going to call this. He's going to make this Drake May's offense. That looked like Josh McDaniels' offense to me, and it doesn't work when you have a guy like Drake May who's just not ready for all the processing and the decision making. Like, he needs to push the ball downfield at least sometimes, at least a little bit. That was, for me, maybe number one yesterday.
Yeah, so I'm here working the broadcast, and Zoe's like, come on, can we get something downfield? And this was late in the game when they kicked the final field goal at the end to then try to go for the onside. But he goes, can you push it downfield? And they did. They started moving the ball a little bit downfield. My biggest takeaway, though, is as much as Drake May's not ready to go, he's relearning this whole entire thing that's not made for him. That Skaz nailed it. This offense is not made for him. The progressions are what bothered me the most. He doesn't when they call a play. Let me give you an example. The Demario Douglas touchdown was beautiful. If we're gonna give Drake May some credit, this is where I think Josh McDaniels is good. Hey, we're going to get you a one-on-one situation in the back of the end zone where if you make the right throw, it'll be a touchdown. And Drake May had it ready to go, saw the coverage, made the call, made a perfect throw to Demario Douglas. That was beautiful. That was looking at McDaniels and Drake May. They called up a play that Drake May could only make that throw. It was beautiful. So to credit both of them, love that. But there are things that they're asking Drake May to do. For example, just profit plays. Don't run as much. What really bothered me the most is when a play call came in. And I want to give our buddy Jake Seymour credit for this one because Jake said this to me during the break. This is the first time Drake May's ever had someone in his headset. Last year, Alex Van Pelt would get the play in but wouldn't be in his headset. It's something Josh McDaniels is doing this year. And I almost wonder if he's been so tentative because of what's been going on in his head or that headset stuff that's going on. But what scares me the most, it's not the sailed balls. It's not necessarily the footwork because I think he's got bad footwork. It's the progressions. When you got three wide and you want to do a nice little slant over the middle and that guy's not open, he doesn't look to reset. He's just kind of not open, tuck and go. He's not reading the progressions. And I think that's him starting all over again in a new offense that he's not ready for. And when he does have something that's opened and he wants to make a simple throw, his footwork isn't good enough to make it a decent throw at sails. For example, Hunter Henry over in the middle of the field. He got happy feet. He saw him open. He sailed the ball on him. If he had good footwork, he would know to settle, get his shoulder right, and throw a direct dart to him. On the little sideline play to Hunter Henry, wasn't a beautiful ball, but he lofted it up in the air knowing there was no safety there and where Henry could make the catch. If he has better footwork, he can throw that more on a line drive. I'm not trying to get too technical with you, but this is why this offense will not work for Drake May. At least on week one, I don't believe it will. And I've been pretty consistent about it all offseason, so I'm not just saying that because it's week one. Anyone who listens to the show knows I've been consistent on this. He doesn't have the proper footwork. He doesn't have the correct accuracy skills right now to get the ball out quick to work in this offense. And I think we saw it yesterday. So, yeah, does it fall on Drake May? Absolutely. He's the number 3 overall pick. There's high expectations, and there's other guys in the league that can do it. He doesn't have enough reps. He's played 13 games. He's won 1 game. And what's really sad about everything yesterday, the 2 guys that are their highest picks, number 1, Drake May, and then this year, Will Campbell. Will Campbell overall had a pretty good day. But when it came to a pressure situation, false start. Right? Had a holding call. Drake May stepped up in the pocket because of his bad footwork and ran into a sack on a Will Campbell play. The Patriots' 2 draft picks in May and Campbell failed them yesterday and failed them in pressure situations. That's disappointing. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Let's talk to Benny in Oxford. Benny!
Hey, what's going on, Joe Scott?
You back?
Been a while. Hey, busy with life.
Hell yeah, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Well, I was doing good. I finally got out of my depression from the April injuries to a certain Boston Celtics player, and then I happened to turn on the 1 o'clock game yesterday, and by 1:45, that went to hell. Man, I just think it started back in the preseason. Like I was talking to my buddies, I understand there's only 3 preseason games. I wanted Drake May out there for that third one. He had 4 series the first 2 games. 2 of them looked like crap, and 2 of them looked decent. So it's 50-50. He didn't have time for anything. I think it just played into week 1. And you talked about the end of the first half. I don't have been more upset. Like you're telling Drake May you don't want him to run. You're in his ear for a while, like all off season, and probably in his ear all game. And then you design a quarterback run on your first play to try to score points at the end of the first half. Like your defense your defense is balling right now. Just got a 3rd and out. Momentum's all yours.
They gave up big plays
out of it is a quarterback run.
They gave up big plays, and I'm sure when Christian Gonzalez comes back, it will tighten up a little bit. But they why did they need to blitz? You know what I'm saying? Like why? So I'm not even on the. I'll get on the defense on the other side. But Benny, you've been a supporter for the show for a long time. Skaz and I are very consistent when it comes to this stuff. Like if Vrabel stinks, we didn't like Vrabel. I wanted an offensive. I wanted an offensive mind. Do I think he's like a building blocks guy? Absolutely. Like did they look at least like formidable? And did they look like they were ready for the moment as far as on the field and right setups and yeah, it did. It looked good, but it was the same result. Whatever. And I just all the crap about this offseason about Josh McDaniels was at Ohio State and he's learning how to reinvent and learning college offenses and this and that. I didn't see any of that yesterday.
Agreed. And the biggest knock, the knocks yesterday that are probably really upsetting. You guys in the new coaching staff, like you got Vrabel. I understand you guys didn't like him, but whatever. The hire was made. How do you come out of the second half of week 1 looking as flat and as crap as you did, and 9 penalties yesterday? Like those are two things you go directly to coaching. Obviously, I know everything else can go directly to coaching too, but those are the 2 biggest things that can go to coaching. You come out flat out of the second half in a week 1 game, and you have 9 penalties. Like that's crap.
Absolutely, Benny. Glad to hear from you again, bud.
Yeah,
you got it. He's Benny. I don't think we've heard from him since the Celtics have been eliminated from the playoffs.
He was in the Tatum hibernation era right there.
Oh, is that what that was?
I believe so.
Oh. What's Justin and Lynn got to say? What's up, buddy?
Hey, Joe. I got to say, the Patriots really upset me yesterday, and I talked about this this morning when I was on my show, Joe. Some of the play calling yesterday in that game by Josh McDaniels, specifically the 3rd down and 1, I didn't like the ball with the midfield. I didn't like the play calls that he made on 3rd and 1 when he was running the football. I thought it should have been maybe a play action type thing. I didn't like some of the play calls that he made yesterday.
I know. I appreciate you, Justin. They just how could you watch that game and watch them punt 6 times in a row and tell me that Josh McDaniels was good and not a problem or a part of the problem or isn't impacting Drake May in some way. I can't do it. I'm out. Can't do it. Let's talk to Buddy. What's up, Buddy? Hey, Buddy.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Joe, look, you got me all fired up, and I was fine. But listen to what you had to say, and you gave me those stats about 3 wins, 3-18 at home, or 3-15. In 1993, I bought my season tickets. Bill Parcells came in. I'm like, okay, this guy can freaking coach. Now all of a sudden, like I'm like complacent. Like, let's be hopeful because Mike's here. Mike's going to do all the right stuff. And then now I'm listening to you. I'm like, what? I should be nuts right now. I mean, I've spent a lot of money at that place. Why are we not playing better than we are? This is ridiculous. And the question I wanted to ask you, how close do you think we are to pre-Bill Parcells right now than any other time in the last 20-something years? I mean, I feel like it's back there again. They were okay with kind of stinking.
I think they're better than 1992 Patriots.
Okay.
And I think that they're below. They might be slightly. Okay, maybe they're slightly better than the last 2 years, which isn't much of an improvement.
That's not saying much, right? And I feel like I'm okay with it, and I don't want to be okay with it. You've got to be fired up in that capacity. Like, I'm sitting there. Now, I gave my tickets to my daughter, so now she's in charge. I got 4 tickets. I've had it for a long time. Like, you go make your own memories. And I'm thinking, these games stink.
Yeah.
What kind of memories are you going to make?
Buddy, my same thing. Yeah. My family, same thing. We got the tickets, and that when Drew Bledsoe came in after Parcells, they drafted Bledsoe.
Exactly.
I went to every great game you could think of. I went to Tom Brady's last playoff game. I haven't been to a game since. Now, the reason why I haven't been is because I work Patriots post game, so we don't do the shows from there.
Sure.
But I do agree with you. Like, going to games at Gillette, like, the home field advantage is over. It's gone. People aren't afraid to go into Gillette anymore. And do you think the Raiders going West Coast to East Coast were afraid at all yesterday? No.
No, absolutely not. And it's a hassle. Then the other thing, like, I mean, I want to reach out to Kraft, but they make everything so difficult. Like, listen, hey, man, we want a better product. I mean, what are we doing here?
I think it will get better. I'm just trying to make the case. Here's my take. I think Josh McDaniels isn't helping Drake May.
I would agree. I thought he looked like he was thinking too much as he was playing yesterday. And said, just throw the ball. I don't really care. Just throw it.
And the thing that scared me the most was his progressions. He would look at a guy, the guy that he was going to wasn't open, he would try to just run. And that scares me. Because you know what? Drew Bledsoe took a ton of sacks, but you know what? He went through the progressions.
I love Drew Bledsoe. I told him that to his face at Emerald Square Mall. I got a thing signed from him. He was there. Go through the line.
That was great store. That Emerald Square Mall sporting goods store.
Emerald Square Mall. I'm going through the line. My wife, I said, Drew, I love you. My wife goes, no, he's serious. Then he signed a thing for me. I mean, but that guy, he was cared about winning. I'm not saying anybody doesn't care about winning, but you knew we're going to try to turn this thing around, and we did. But now it feels like we're all kind of living on past glories. I don't know.
Yeah, we are.
Like we're waiting for something to happen.
We're all delusional because of the past. Appreciate you, buddy. We're all delusional because of the past. The Pats are back. Josh McDaniels is here. He's gonna look what he did with Mac Jones. Look what he did with Mac Jones. Now he's in his stupid headset, Jake. Now he's in his headset telling him what to do. Hey, he's go to this guy. He probably is like, shut up. I hope he throws that stupid speaker in his helmet when it's Miami and Tua throws 3 touchdowns in the first half and they're down 21-0. I hope he slams and breaks his helmet. Hey, we get the headline coming up next. I'm Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Hey, we got football tonight, everybody. You know who's playing? The Bears. Oh, Scats, we get to watch a Ben Johnson-led offense? Yeah. We can compare it to Josh McDaniels all night long. This is great. We might as well get some food. Patriots lose the opener. But you know what? They take
and runs under it and makes the sliding grab for his second NFL catch.
Rookie on a $20 million corner.
Davis fought the jab step to the inside. Thornton got past him, made the sliding catch with that grab for 36 yards.
Of them. Forget about maybe blitzing way too much. What else did I have on notes on this one? The defense, to me, was good enough to win the game yesterday. I'm sure some of you are rolling your eyes after me saying that. But I think the defense was good enough. They could have won that game the way the defense played. Now, Jalen Hawkins got burned on that opening touchdown. But he made up for it, right? Had an interception later on, was in the right spot. They were targeting him. Harold Landry, 2.5 sacks. He was really and his pressure, I'm trying to compare him to somebody. Maybe it's Kyle Van Noy. I don't know. He reminds me of that type of tweener that can play defensive end, linebacker, but he's looked pretty good. They were too blitz happy. What the hell were you doing? Early on in the game, at times defensive linemen going back into coverage. Like, what are you doing? That's too cute for me. Opening drive, they got completely shredded. I mentioned they were too blitz happy. Pro Football Focus, Geno Smith against the blitz yesterday. He was 159 yards against the blitz. It was second in the NFL. He had 12.2 yards per attempt. It was third in the league. His passer rating was 136 against the blitz, third in the league. Geno was great yesterday. Think about him. Geno Smith's on a new team with a new offensive coordinator, with new wide receivers, and no Brock Bowers late in the game. He's got Trey Tucker, the kid Thornton that they drafted, Michael Mayer, remember the Notre Dame tight end from years ago? They all played well. Ashton Genty's a rookie. Like, he had things that he could have brought up that he had issues why he couldn't do what he was doing. But you know what? He was prepared. He was ready. He almost threw for 400 yards. The 3rd and 20 situation, that was on Carlton Davis. And I said this to Scaz before the show, but I felt the whole punting with 4 minutes to go was no belief in Drake May. Or even, for that matter, he said it himself, the play caller. Vrabel said that, not me. Vrabel said the play caller. And maybe he did trust the defense. And quite frankly, if they didn't get a bad punt, the defense did its job, right? So, I mean, but the Carlton Davis play, I think Carlton Davis was trying to make a play.
I get, it's Carlton Davis's fault. I'm not there are no excuses for Carlton Davis on that play.
He should be a vet and not let anyone get behind him.
But the play call is also horrible, in my opinion. It's 3rd and 20. What are you doing? What best case scenario there? What you get a sack and they're punting from an extra 5 yards back? What? This team is not in a position to take those risks. This is a football team that has to play, unfortunately, conservative, safe football, smart football if they're going to win games. They don't have the talent to overcome, risky football right now. And 3rd and 20 in all-out blitz, I'm sorry, but I can't get behind that play call. I thought that was Carlton Davis absolutely screwed up, no doubt about it. But what are you doing bringing the house on 3rd and 20, especially at that time in that situation?
It's still Mike Vrabel, this great defensive coach, right? He's going to make the defense. Defense will be top 10. I think I heard. I didn't feel that. This is what I mean. On the offensive side of the ball, I didn't feel an impact from Josh McDaniel. On the defensive side of the ball, I didn't feel an impact from Mike Vrabel.
I felt the Josh McDaniels impact. Those checkdowns on third and 10, I felt those.
No, you know what really pissed me off? Oh, yeah, the checkdowns. No, you know what got me?
The Ramondre Stevenson right up the gut on 3rd and 1. That felt familiar.
What about the pitch plays?
Oh, who could forget,
or
Joe?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What happened to the... Remember they did it in the... What was the second game they went on the road? Vikings. Remember they did the actual stretch run that they tried years ago with Matt Patricia? And it worked. They scored a touchdown. Hey, how does... can I give you another reason? I'll do it on the other side. How do you not run the ball with a running back in the second half?
It's a bold strategy.
So you mean to tell me it's a one score game, Skaz? And you didn't run the ball once? Oh, you did with the quarterback, and then you did a reverse to Pop Douglas, huh? How did he do yesterday? I know he had a touchdown, but did you see his numbers?
What did he finish with, -2 receiving yards?
-2.
-2.
It should be his New Jersey number.
That's not great, I would say.
Do you think, can this team win games with the defense giving up 20 points or less? I'd say yeah. I'm going to say yeah.
They're going to have to, I think. The scariest part of yesterday for me is that week 2 has become a must-win for the New England Patriots, which is insane to think about. There are no must-wins in week 2 of the NFL season, but I know you were here yesterday, Joe, so I don't know how much of the Dolphins you got to see.
Oh, I did.
But that is not a good football team. That is not a well-coached football team. The New England Patriots cannot lose to that football team on Sunday.
The Dolphins are favored -2.5. Recency bias, I'm telling you right now, I'm on the Dolphins.
Which is terrifying.
If I just go by the betting line, right? Just the betting line, just like week 1, going by the betting line, I took the Raiders, right? They open a number for a reason. They open it that way. The Dolphins being favored means recency bias they don't believe in. May I also mention that Tua Tagovailoa is going up against that secondary again, that Geno Smith just threw for 300 yards on. Geno Smith or Tua? Skaz.
Geno.
Really? Ooh, okay.
I think Geno's better than Tua, yeah.
Okay.
Tua's also 7-0 in his career against the Pats, though, so he has that going for him.
Let's do that later in the week, please.
No, just
we did it last week, right?
Some foreshadowing.
Yes. I would love to push back on that. I think Tua Tagovailoa is an MVP candidate when healthy.
He didn't look like one yesterday, Joe. I'll tell you that right now.
Tua turnover.
Me and Jake were just talking about that. I think Mike McDaniel is the favorite to be fired first this season, probably. Yeah.
You know what we talk about, right? Remember, people look at the schedule and they say, "Oh yeah, that's a win. That's a win."
I do remember some people having them at 11, 12 wins before yesterday.
You know how we always talked about the get right game?
Almost nervous for my 7 wins prediction.
For real, let's just have some fun with it. Who is more of the get right team right now? Is it the Dolphins or the Patriots?
I think looking at last year and recent history, you would say the Patriots, but the Dolphins looked like a much worse football team yesterday. The Raiders are better than the Colts. Yep. Geno Smith is better than Daniel Jones.
Legitimately an organizational game this weekend for both sides. Patriots win. They've conquered the Dolphins and Tua for at least one round. They're back on track. May had to play better, right? The defense had to have looked better. And Mike Vrabel's on his way to being his, and then they'll take on Pittsburgh. The Dolphins win. Well, they own the Patriots. Patriots never win in Miami, right? And now they're 0-2 going up against Aaron Rodgers and Pittsburgh, who can run the ball, throw the ball with multiple targets, and have a quarterback that's a veteran that could, all I'm trying to say is this game this week for both sides, Dolphins and Patriots, is franchise altering. I'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. Well, I'm not going to be able to get into it, but the Red Sox play tonight. Garrett Crochet is on the mound. He's had 5 days of rest. Oh, actually, he had 5. Yes, so this would be he's had 5 actual days of rest. When he does that, Skaz, his ERA is 2.3 compared to when he has 4 days of rest and pitches on the 5th day. He's in the 3s. I would expect a bounce back tonight from Garrett Crochet. If not, I'd be very, Very concerned. We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. And, of course, this hour of the Sports Hub brought to you by Valvoline and Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit newenglandoilchange.com. You can save 15% off your next drive through oil change at Valvoline and Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. We'll have more coming up. There's a trade that just happened in the NFL as well. And, well, we'll take a look at that game tonight. We'll talk to Doug Kyed from on 98.5 The Sports of Hour 2. I wasn't able to talk about this yet, but I'll tease it one more time. But Skaz is back from his vacation, if you want to call it a vacation. But he's come back a new man, and I can't wait to talk about it. I'm not getting into it.
Nothing is new,
No,
Joe.
I'm not getting into it right now.
I don't know what's so new.
I'm going to save it for a little bit. I want people to know what it's all about.
I don't even know what it's all about.
Oh, I do. All right, so this show, anybody who listens, don't think we've been high on Vrabel and Josh McDaniels. I personally have always felt that if Drake May struggles this year, the fall guy will be Josh McDaniels. And I just want to mention that in the second half yesterday, punt the Patriot, Josh McDaniels. Did the Josh McDaniels offense work in Denver? Guys, did it work there?
I think those first 8 games, Joe. 8-0 start, right?
That's right.
After
just
that,
like Mac Jones's first 8 games.
There
too,
you go.
What about the Rams when they had
the Rams?
Sam Bradford.
Yeah, Sam Bradford coming off Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Did not work.
And then the Raiders this time.
I would say no.
Mm-hmm. But the offense is good for the Patriots and good for Drake May, right?
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Okay. Again, this was reporting, and we're going to talk to Doug Kyed in a little bit, but it was reported that the Josh McDaniels offense requires a lot from the quarterback. And I understand that there's going to be people who push back on what I'm saying right now. I never played offensive line at a high level, but what I can tell you is this. When you're a center or one of the leaders on the offensive line, you take care of the checks, progressions, mic, blocking scheme, look for the stunts. Like, you're in control of all that because it's less on the quarterback. It's less for him to deal with. You might not think it's a big deal. There are plenty of quarterbacks in the league that do it all. Tom Brady did it all, right? We'll see tonight if Caleb Williams does. I want to see if J.J. McCarthy does. One other tweak this year was, and we mentioned this was reported as well, Alex Van Pelt wasn't in the headset as much last year as, let's say, Drake May has said Josh McDaniels is this year. To me, I think that's a problem. So, I asked Greg Bedard yesterday in postgame if Drake May has too much on his plate regarding running the offense. Greg, said that it has nothing to do with his footwork and sailing balls and all that. I disagree. I'm not saying he's wrong. I just think that because he's learning this system, he's not able to work on his footwork. He's not able to work on certain things. And they're instilling in his brain, don't run, take profit, extend plays. I think he's confused. I think he showed it, and especially in pressure situations yesterday. So I brought it up in postgame. Mike Vrabel does his interview today. This is what he was asked at the podium today regarding Drake May and taking on too much.
Is there anything with Drake? Is there any chance you feel like there might be too much on his plate right now? You talked about him maybe wanting to play perfect or maybe looking tentative.
Well, again, I think we have to evaluate that. We have to find out, is there something there, or we just got to, figure out what our guys do best and do that. And, because if you do that, right, then you have to be really good, as opposed to trying to scheme or get into the right situation. Again, we just make sure that we're giving them answers, but trying not to give them too much. I think that's always the balance and the fine line.
Okay. If I was the coach of the New England Patriots, I would be like, he's picking up the offense just fine. Right? Would Bill Belichick have done that? Yep, we believe him. We believe in what he's doing. Right? Why did he have to answer that? Why did he answer that? Now I'm all over it. I've been sharpening my pencil all day on this one. I think it is too much for him.
Can I give you the part of that cut that stood out to me?
Please.
Figure out what our guys do best.
What the hell were you doing all offseason? What were you doing in the preseason? What are you doing scouting? What are you doing, when you're learning the roster? I understand it's week 1, okay? And I understand Drake May's in year 2. There's going to be a lot of stuff you still have to figure out. Shouldn't you have some idea of what your guys do best? Just a little bit of an idea. Like Drake May, does he throw check down passes best?
Yeah. I personally think he throws over the middle the best. But again, the old sale.
Maybe they'll figure it out next week what they do best.
Against the Dolphins that lost 33-8, right? At home. Miami, where they've never won. Yeah. I think he's doing too much. It's just my opinion.
Do you think Mike Vrabel thinks he's doing too much?
That answer indicates yes.
And that's the issue right there.
Guys.
How can they not be on the same page week 1?
He's played 13 NFL games.
And he played like 20 in college or something like that?
He's running his second offense. That's not his. He's learning an offense that's ancient. Please, I'm not defending Drake May. I want people to know this. I'm not defending Drake May. I think yesterday, everything that he was given, he could have been better. I think he knows he could have been better. But he looked like he wasn't progressing. The worst thing was he was not going through his progressions. That's scary to me. It's weird, but I watched a lot of college football this week. The kid from BC, Lonergan, holy smokes, he was going through progression. I was impressed. Again, I always thought Bill O'Brien was a good move for BC. I watched Castellanos go to see them put up 77 this weekend or whatever it was. But he wasn't a good this is what I mean by Castellanos was not a good fit for the Bill O'Brien offense. He wasn't. That's why he transferred out and he went to Florida State and they let him be an athlete. Now you're asking Drake May, who's an athlete, to run an offense where you get the ball out quickly, and it's not his game. I don't know why they think Josh McDaniels is the guy to do this. I don't know why. He needs work. I don't think people want to hear this, but he has a great arm. He didn't look like he was running well. I will say that. He didn't look as fast, or he looked like a gazelle last year. I didn't see that yesterday. Can I give you one more? How does it help Drake May when you run the ball 3 times in a one-score game in the second half? Does throwing the ball 46 times, dropping back 53 times in a game, is that what's best for Drake May? I'm crapping all over McDaniels, but I'm being serious. Does any of this help Drake May? Not running the ball and dropping back 53 times on 46 attempts? Out!
You know who else it doesn't help is Will Campbell. These guys, there was no momentum. I understand Will Campbell didn't have a great day yesterday. It's a bad day, according to some. But you got to run the ball at least a little bit. Let these guys get going downhill at some point. They abandoned the run, and it was Stevenson had nothing. They went to Henderson a lot. They even went to Gibson at one point, who I thought was good last year, but they had nothing yesterday. Nothing.
Was this a shot at McDaniels? Mike Vrabel's comment?
Week 1, I don't know if I want to call it a shot. If it becomes a pattern, I'm willing to call it a shot.
What was the clip you played, though? It was, we need to find out what we do best. Was that a shot at McDaniels?
To me, that's the head coach, though.
Okay. All right.
If it was Belichick, we'd blame Belichick, right?
Okay. Drake May, prior to his interception, was 18 of 25, 182 yards, was averaging 7 yards per attempt with a touchdown. After the interception, and before that garbage time 2-minute, he was 7 of 12, 51 yards, 4 yards per attempt. I saw this from Boston Sports Info today. In a one-possession game in the second half of his career, he's 36 of 57 for 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions. It's a 40. Joe Math, That is 45%. 46 if you want to do the 45.9. He's lost 3 fumbles. He's been sacked 7 times. In 67 pass plays, guys, he has 8 turnovers and 7 negative plays. Did you also know yesterday that the Raiders only played 1 man coverage rep out of all the 53 dropbacks yesterday? They were in cover 3 and cover 2 zone the entire game. So now, well, we're going to have to look at Josh McDaniels and teams going in zone against that offense? I think we might have to start looking at that. How do you fix a zone? How do you beat a zone? It's looking through the slot. I would look for Efton Chisholm to play. They struggled out of this slot. Pop Douglas got shut down. I know he had the touchdown, but different situation. Also wanted to mention this over the weekend. I saw this. I forget where I saw it, but it was regarding Ryan Poles and the Bears. They were not a fan. They did not have a first-round grade on Drake May. They laughed out loud watching his tape. This guy, he repeated, makes my chest tight watching this. May was stacked out of his control, stacked out of their first round, excuse me. They made fun of him, says one of the Bear scouts in the room. They laughed. The GM laughed Drake May off the screen and cut the tape off. So when they had the number 1 pick last year, Drake May was never a consideration. Now, I don't know what that really means for the Bears by any means, but that's something we need to look into a little bit. That's something we need to look into. But Mike Vrabel, when asked if they put too much on Drake May, I think we have to evaluate that. Well, I will tell you this. I've been evaluating that since the hiring. And after 1 week, not good. Not good. Well, let's talk to Doug Kyed. He was there today. He was talking to the media. He had a nice little sit down with Kayshon Boutte today. And we'll ask him about Drake May. Mike Vrabel will do all that. We'll do a nice little recap of the first game of the year. We'll do all that coming up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. I didn't have a pick for tonight's game. I want to see what JJ versus Caleb is before I get into it. But I will say this. I am a believer of Johnson. He's the guy that I wanted the Patriots to go at. I wanted a young offensive mind with Drake May, not the old Tom Brady offense that I think is hampering Drake May. But my pick for tonight, if you really want one, anytime touchdown Luther Burden. He's a rookie. And right now, anytime touchdown Luther Burden the third, plus 750. So there you go for tonight, everybody. It's still available if you want it. All right. Well, let's welcome in somebody that was actually at Mike Vrabel's press conference today, was at the game yesterday, and he works for the Boston Herald. Ton of stuff. His name's Doug Kyed. He joins us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. All right, Doug, but outside of Drake May, how about that? What was your biggest takeaway from the loss yesterday to the Raiders?
That's a good question. I think how bad the running game looked and how little the Patriots were willing to utilize it once it struggled. I'm shocked by it. I mean, the fact that they had 3 carries in the second half. Trevion Henderson did not carry the ball in the second half. Ramondre Stevenson didn't carry the ball in the second half. You saw 1 carry from Antonio Gibson, 1, I think, from DeMario Douglas, and then 1 carry from Drake May. I was expecting them to go run heavy in this game. I was expecting that to be the identity of the offense coming into the season. And for them to just completely abandon it in the second half shows you how bad they thought it was in the first half.
Do you think it was because they got no push? I didn't think Ramondre Stevenson was doing much either. But, I know you wrote about this today.
Yeah.
They had that tush-push play that looked good.
That was good. Yeah, I think otherwise it was the offensive line wasn't getting a good enough push up front. But and when you've got a guy like Trevion Henderson, and he played significantly fewer snaps than Ramondre Stevenson as it was, when you've got a guy like Trevion Henderson who can make plays on his own, he's a big play threat every time he touches the ball. I'm still trying to manufacture him touches in the second half. Like, I'm still trying to get him carries. I'm still trying to get him some catches in the second half. So I think that was a little bit of a mistake. And I think that there were some excuses for it. Like, obviously, they went 3 and out a couple times. They had 1 drive that started with a false start by Will Campbell. So obviously that doesn't help. But still, I would have liked to have seen far more running from this team because, I think yesterday was relatively obvious that at this point in week 1 in that game, Drake May wasn't elevating the offense. So I think he could have used more help.
All right, Doug. And Doug, you had a nice little write-up on Kayshon Boutte today. I'm saving the Josh McDaniels offense stuff. I'm a known I guess I'm a known offensive coordinator hater.
Yep.
So whenever I talk about it, I'm gonna just we'll end on that because there's a lot of meat on the bone. But Kayshon Boutte, him and Drake May, they look fluid. I'm sure they worked a lot together last year because at the time, Brissett was getting ready to be the starter for the season. But, I always bring it up. It's Skaz and I, we watched a ton of college football. This guy was one of the top recruits with, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. He was right up there. He did have there was transition at LSU, and he had some off-field stuff and an injury, et cetera. But he's looking like a guy, and he even still feels like a guy that was, potentially a first-round pick years ago.
Yeah, and I always like taking guys like that for teams to take like a 4 or 5-star recruit or a guy who, had some really good years in college and then something happened to kind of have them peter out their college career. And that's Kayshon Boutte. I mean, he was a 5-star recruit at LSU. He had a fantastic rookie season. He was on pace for like 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, whatever it was his sophomore year. Then he broke his ankle and wasn't the same after that in college. He had some off-field stuff as well, obviously, but seems like that's now rounding back into shape. And I don't really know what the ceiling looks like for Kayshon Boutte at this point. I mean, we saw in week 1, he's got whatever it is, 7 catches, 103 yards. So on pace for a ton of yards this season. But just based on what he did back in the day at LSU, it does still feel like he might have that like number 1 wide receiver potential. And I don't know if he's fully shown that yet at this point. But obviously he still feels like he's the same guy that he was at the beginning of his career at LSU. And, when he was wearing number 7, which is like that top offensive player number that all the LSU players wear. Like, that shows how highly regarded he was at LSU before that ankle injury. And I ask him all the time, like, how's the ankle doing? How's the ankle doing? And it seems like it's feeling as good as it's felt since he came in the NFL at this point.
All right. Do you feel that the game or the Patriots in general looked like they were impacted by Mike Vrabel's addition and Josh McDaniels' addition to the roster this year?
It's a good question. I mean, yes, if only just because like the defensive style was so different. But I know what you're asking about that. Like, did they play harder? Did they finish? Did they have a different attitude? On that, I would say no in week one. And as far as the offense goes, like, yeah, it was obviously a different offensive style. But I've already talked about some of the issues I had with play calling on offense, and I've got just as many on defense as well with Terrell Williams and Mike Vrabel. I mean, I think that on the touchdown to Trey Tucker, dropping Milton Williams and Christian Barmore back in coverage was just like, you're being way too cute at that point. You're blitzing Marcus Jones, leaving Trey Tucker who's fast for Jalen Hawkins to cover. Like, I thought that was silly at the time. And then you've got, I think, a 3rd and 1 situation later where you blitz Carlton Davis from corner, and then Geno Smith's like, all right, I'll just throw to Jacoby Myers for an easy first down. I don't think that made a ton of sense at that point. And then later on 3rd and 20, when they're doing an all-out blitz, I think that's too risky as well in that situation. And I know at that point they're just trying to win the game and trying to make a big play or whatever, but like at that point they can get the ball back with some time. And by doing that, and by allowing a big play to Dante Thornton, they took away that option to come back at that point. So I know I kind of turned your question into a different thing there, but no, not fully. And I also think that coaching did hinder the Patriots in that week 1 game.
No, you go. This is why we want. I want you on. You're a reporter guy, right? When you're there, you're a reporter guy. You go there, you ask the questions, and you write your article. But when you're on this show, you get a little bit of both. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's a smorgasbord, as I'd like to call it. So we agree. Maybe overall, the defensive, the defense that Mike Vrabel brings to the table. Too many just cute chances. Too many. Oh, it was 3rd and 20. Just what are you doing? Just drop everybody back. I get it. It was too easy. On the McDaniels part of it, this guy asked Gaz earlier. I go, did you feel the impact? He goes, well, yeah. He goes, yeah. It was the same old offense. It was the check down and the swing pass and this and that and the 3rd and 1 up the middle. I did get that, but when it's punt in a row, like I can't blame all of that on Drake May.
No, I can understand that. I also think that for one reason or another, whether they're putting too much on his plate, whether he's overwhelmed, like Drake didn't even fully look as good in some facets of his game as he did last year. I mean, especially with his running ability. Like I said it on the podcast I do last night. Like
Pat's
Chat, if you look at how Drake May ran the ball last night in a vacuum, you had no concept whatsoever of what he was at UNC, what he was last season. You would say, like, this guy has, like, Mac Jones mobility. This guy has, like, Kirk Cousins mobility. Because he didn't look that fluid running the ball. He didn't have any big plays. Looked like he was tentative. Looked like he was just trying to get down and not get hurt. And, like, if you remove that from his game, then that could obviously really hinder this offense. So that was concerning, I thought. I would like to see him have free reign to run the ball, either on designed runs or on scrambles. And beyond that, yeah, there wasn't a lot of chances being taken. And it was, a lot of shorter passes, a lot of stuff behind the line, too many negative plays overall for the offense that they couldn't rebound from. So, not a promising offensive effort from the Patriots.
Talking with Doug Kyed, he's at the Boston Herald. Of course, you can listen to his Pat's Chat podcast as well. Him and Michael Hurley are on there. Here's one I got for you there. We've at least agreed, you and I, not running in the second half. How does that help Drake May? It doesn't. I think 46 passing attempts isn't in the best interest of the offense. But we talked about this in the past, and I think you had the article about is there too much on Drake May's plate? It wasn't too much on his plate. I think you were talking about the responsibilities in the Josh McDaniels offense at the line.
Right.
I think what that's taking away from, his footwork was bad. As a runner, I completely agree. He didn't look the same, but his footwork's not right. He doesn't square his shoulders up. He is sailing balls. That little ball down the sideline to Hunter Henry, that needs to be shoulders and a strike. He lofted one over the middle to Henry. I just think he hasn't had the opportunity to work on his fundamentals because he's learning the Josh McDaniels offense. Is that fair to say?
I don't know. I think there's enough time in the day to do both. Obviously, learning a Josh McDaniels offense is very complicated, but I wouldn't give him like a pass for not having his fundamentals up to tip-top shape in this game because he also has to learn an offense. But I do think that him sailing passes is a concern because I actually thought his accuracy for a rookie quarterback last year was one of his relative strengths. And that's another thing that seems like, at least based on week one, like it's maybe gotten worse here in year two. And I think he can fix it, obviously, moving forward. But I asked him after the game, like, all right, that pass to Demario Douglas on the first drive, was that more of like the nerves getting too amped up before the game? And he said, no, it wasn't. Might have been the weather, might have been whatever. And I think there were way too many significantly inaccurate passes in this game, and even one that like hit Mac Hollins on the hands that was a little bit later in the game. Just like that pass also just felt like it wasn't exactly where Mac Hollins was expecting it to be. So he makes some fantastic tight window throws, but then there's also so many that are just way over a guy's head and not even close, that I truly can't even understand like how that happens to him, how he can be so precise at times and also just be so inaccurate at other times.
To give you the good and the bad on Drake May, I thought the touchdown in the red zone to Pop Douglas, it was a great play call. He knew it right away. He threw it exactly where nobody else could catch it from Pop Douglas. That was like beautiful. That was a really, really, really nice play. But
he had a really great tight window throw to Hunter Henry as well as his throws to Keyshawn Boutte were good. Like he definitely made some good throws. So I don't want to be super negative about Drake May in this game because obviously he made some plays, but I was just expecting a much bigger leap here in week one.
Yeah, in crunch time too, right? Like their two biggest draft picks, right? Down the stretch, Drake May struggled and Will Campbell struggled. On the Will Campbell false start on the 4th and 5. Maybe you've had a chance to see the All-22. I was here watching the game at the studio, but he never communicated Drake May. He didn't talk to any of the linemen. He had a running back next to him, but he wasn't, hey, guys, on my call or on my clap. I don't know if they were on a silent count. I actually don't know. But I think Will Campbell looked up because they had to delay a game earlier. If you remember, he looked up. And I think he just thought that they were going to snap the ball before it. There was no communication, and this is what I mean by maybe there's too much on his plate. I'm glad somebody asked the question. I've just been consistent on it, and Vrabel talked about maybe changing it and finding out what they do well. Yeah. Skaz brought this up. Don't you think that's something you would have learned over the summer? What you do well?
It's true, but I think that you also need to actually get into a game, and you can criticize them for not, using Drake May enough in the preseason. I think that's something that you might be able to learn in the preseason, but when he's only playing 4 total drives, then maybe you aren't able to learn that. But I do think that these early week games are a good time for these types of adjustments and say like, all right, hey, this isn't working. We thought he could handle it all. Now let's scale it back a little bit. And I mean, I thought it was interesting that when Mike Vrabel was asked this morning about how disappointing it was that they weren't able to run the ball, that he brought up, he said it takes the play caller, right? Getting the play in efficiently. So I don't know if there was issues with Josh McDaniels not getting plays in quick enough, not efficiently enough, because we did see a delay of game in this game. Obviously, we saw the 2 false starts. So like you were mentioning, like maybe Will Campbell did expect the ball to be snapped at that point because he was looking at the clock. But I thought that was interesting too, that Vrabel's obviously putting it on everyone. I think that's his way of saying that, like, it's not just the running backs, it's not just the offensive line, it's us too. But when he says it takes a play caller, like, that's obviously referencing one person there.
Maybe this is something you can ask. Here I am telling you, hey, you got to ask this. But just the headset stuff with Josh McDaniels. Earlier, it was talked about how Alex Van Pelt would just get the play in.
Right. Yep.
How much is Josh McDaniels, and what do you know about that? How much is he in the headset of Drake May during plays?
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good thing to ask McDaniels about this week. But from what it sounded like, I think it was on the broadcast. I think it was one of the McCourties was saying that, like, Josh McDaniels is talking right up to the point when the ball is snapped, or like not up to the point when the ball is snapped, but up to the point where like he's no longer allowed to communicate with the quarterback anymore. So it does seem like he's someone who is very talkative on the headset, whereas Alex Van Pelt obviously wasn't as talkative last year. And maybe there is a happy medium there where you're giving Drake too much and his head is swimming before he's getting out there, because that's at least what it looked like at times yesterday, that his head was swimming a little bit. He had too much to think about, too much to do, and he wasn't able to just be himself out there.
How do you think this all changes going to Miami this week, who's in desperation mode? Did you know that the Colts never punted? That hasn't been done since 1991.
Wild. I mean, that would be good for the Patriots, since 3 of their punts were pretty terrible in this game. If the Patriots could manage that. No shot to Bryce Baringer. He's been a good punter, but that was something that Mike Vrabel mentioned after the game, too, is that, like, all right, you're not expecting a 20-yard punt there in the fourth quarter. But it's funny because, like, I do think to some degree, like, these week 1 games are not meaningless, but usually they're an inconsistent sign for what the rest of the season means. So I would not be shocked if the Patriots go out there on Sunday and win and look significantly different. Also wouldn't be shocked if this is the typical Miami game where they lose like 30-6 or something like that, and then everyone's panicking, because like that is now my current like expectation when I go to Miami, is just to watch this horrible, brutal football game where the Patriots get absolutely annihilated. So we'll see if Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels and Terrell Williams can turn that around. But I do think the Patriots will look better. I think they'll be able to make some adjustments. I think they'll be able to make some changes. But am I confident in that? No, just because of the fact that they looked on Sunday like the team that we saw last year and the year before.
Do you think Christian Gonzalez will play?
Ooh, that's a good question. Vrabel is still saying, he's working to get back. He's trying hard. I mean, I expect him to play on Sunday until he didn't practice all week, because, like, there's really been no indication all summer that this was serious. Like, I thought he was moving around fine. I thought he was walking around fine, but obviously this thing is just lingering. So we'll just have to see what he looks like on Wednesday at practice if he's out there. Because I do think that could change some things on defense. Maybe they don't take as many risks if they've got one of the best cornerbacks in football out there.
All right, should let you know that the first drive for the Bears, Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams went 6 for 6, 51 yards, threw to 5 different receivers, had a 9-yard rushing touchdown, his first of his career. So Ben Johnson era, that could have been the Patriots if they wanted a guy outside the organization.
I think it's interesting. Well, for also with Caleb Williams, that so much of the reporting over this offseason has been so negative about Caleb Williams. Like, it's a little bit risky, because if he comes out there looking like gangbusters and like an all-pro and like everyone expected him to coming out of USC, a lot of people are going to look kind of dumb about what his preparation was last year and everything. So very curious to see how McCarthy and Williams look like in this game, because also the reporting around the Bears laughing at Drake May, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that Drake May was a laughable prospect. But if Caleb Williams winds up having a better career, then obviously that paints that in a different light.
All right, Doug, what kind of hat are you rocking tonight?
I've got like a bear on it. We used to call my daughter Halle Bear, so I found a hat with a bear on it and decided to buy it and wear it occasionally. So I think it's from like Sendero or something like that. Found it online. Thought it was a cool purchase.
I like that. It's about people in our chat are like, hey, what's on the hat?
What's this hat? Yeah.
I love the meaning behind it, of course. And, obviously we all have your daughter in our prayers, as always, man. And you're doing a solid job. As always, I'm glad that we agree that they should have ran the ball more. And, hey, who knows? Maybe it's going to be hot. Oh, this is one other thing I wanted to mention. I thought Vrabel and the team ran out of gas, where last year they took it to the hill, right?
Right, yeah.
Completely different outcomes in week 1 this year to last year as far as finishing. Wasn't that their big saying? Effort and finish?
Yeah, I mean, their goal was to be a second half football team, and that obviously was not the case. I think the pass rush was a little bit better in the first half. Obviously, some things on the offensive line were not quite as good in the second half. Drake May wasn't as good. The coverage wasn't as good. So, yeah, I think that, we'll see how it looks in Miami. We'll see how it looks as the season goes along. But they definitely did not accomplish Mike Vrabel's goal of being a second half team in that game.
All right. I just watched another big run by Caleb Williams, and I'm going to be all night long being like, that's the guy. That's the one. But, hey, they got a chance to change things this week.
It was the Chatter Island made kick that kept them out of the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, right?
Yeah. So you're going to Miami this week?
I will be in Miami, yep. Ready to, sweat a lot down there. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a weird stadium. It's a weird press box, and it really does bring back weird memories down there of the Miracle in Miami and all the losses they've had recently. It's a press box where only one side of it has air conditioning, so one side is 50 degrees and the other side is relatively comfortable. And it's also a press box, not to be the whiny reporter or whatever, but obviously that used to be the Florida Marlins Stadium. So the press box is at home plate, which is nowhere near where any of the football is being played. It's the absolute worst view in the NFL, I'd say.
Well, are you hanging out in Collins Ave this weekend?
We're going to Fort Lauderdale, I think. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we're getting in kind of late, so we'll see what we're able to get up to. But yeah, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, always a good time.
Oh, I love the ride. You got some of the best Cuban food I've ever had at Versailles.
Oh yeah, Versailles. Yep.
Little Havana. Oh my God. Some of the best food.
Oh, yeah.
Now you got to crank some Will Smith on the way down there too. You know what I mean?
I know, right? Oh yeah, the fried plantains, the Cuban sandwich. Versailles is a cool spot because it feels so old school. It feels like you're transported back to the 50s or 60s.
I know. I feel like I'm in the movie Scarface when I'm in there, for real. Oh
there was a night, not to extend this, but there was a night at the Super Bowl in Miami. Me and Zach Cox, I think we ate at Versailles with one of my buddies, and then we went to what's the spot that's got all the art on all the walls and everything.
Yeah, no, it's right on the highway when you drive. They're right into downtown Miami. I know.
Yeah, we went in that neighborhood for a little bit. We saw some guy just holding a huge snake around his neck. then we wound up going to the Hard Rock Casino. I made I don't know, $500 on slots in a few minutes. Got out of there. It was a wild night. Wound up at a Maxim party or something that night. It was a memorable night in Miami for me and Zach Cox.
Yeah, they call it Wynwood, I think is what they call it.
Wynwood, that's what it is. Yeah,
the Wynwood area. Oh yeah. Hey, one time went from Fort Lauderdale to Versailles in a Uber, and then just went right back to the airport to go home. So it's it's a great place to eat. Oh, the food in Miami is spectacular. And then I found out that I was tipping on top of gratuity as it was. It took me a little while to figure all that out. Well, enjoy the trip this week. Hopefully you get a better result, Doug, and we'll catch up soon, man. Appreciate the time.
All right, absolutely. Good talking to you, Joe.
You got it. He's Doug Kyed, everybody. Boston Herald, Pat's Chat Podcast, and soon to be Hard Rock Casino winner and Versailles Cuban restaurant eating Doug Kyed. Oh, I'm so glad I mentioned Versailles and someone else knew. I've been talking about this place for 15 years. It's the best Cuban food I ever had. There was also a woman with a parrot when I went, which was really weird. Do you think parrots should be allowed in restaurants? Let's do that. Interround's coming up in a little bit, guys. All right, we'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Doug Kyed dropping some knowledge on us. How many people did well betting this week? So Joe Me the Money this week, Scat. We went 4-1. I should keep track of these. Last week we went 4-1. This week we went 3-0 in college football, 0-2 in the NFL. I had the Bengals and the Dolphins. Woof. Bengals won at least. So this week was 3-2. So it's an overall record of 7-3, which I would take 70% all day long. I also took Baylor outright, who won in double overtime. I had Belichick to cover. They did. And I had Boomer Sooner, baby, Oklahoma, who took care of business against Michigan.
A big week for Mississippi State, too.
Yeah, that's true. So so I had those. But, yeah, the Dolphins game, I'm and, again, the Colts were 1-8-1 the last 10 games in week 1. So
Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes.
He looked good. The Dolphins did not look good. We'll get into that in a bit. I watched a lot of college football this week. BC covered. Did you see that? They lost to Michigan State. That kid Lonergan's legit. He's legit. Now, did he have some issues late in the game? I think that comes down to experience, right? He didn't really play much at Alabama, and now he's thrown into the mix on the road in a big game. But they covered the 3.5. The one game I was wondering this week was Ole Miss. Ole Miss was at Kentucky. If you remember last year, Kentucky knocked Ole Miss out of the running to make the. Remember at the end of the year was a big thing about making the tournament, and that's what kept them out. For some reason, Kentucky has this thing against Ole Miss. I don't know what it is, but Ole Miss went up. They were 8.5-point favorites. They were up 10 points, and then Kentucky kicked the field, kind of like the Pats. They kicked the field goal to keep it a game still. And Lane Kiffin had a message for the bettors out there.
Really glad how the players played, especially in the second half, second quarter, and they fought hard. That's a really hard team and plays really close games. So proud of our guys. Sorry to a lot of gamblers there at the end.
Thank you. So the unders this week, one more game to go, and this is the NFL. Do you know that they were 12-2 heading into? That's what I knew. I knew immediately. By the way, when that happens, you got to take the over in the Sunday night game, no matter what it is.
Our guy Ben was all over it.
Exactly.
That's how I saw it.
Ben Fox with a W.
Fox.
By the way, do you see his gig he's got now? So he's now running the sports betting and news analysis for all of Yahoo Sports, which has covers and in the game.
He crushes it. Yeah.
Oh no, he's like the guy. Remember, he was on this show before he was there. So I just want to let that know the night show bump.
He'll be back.
I keep trying. He's busy all the time. Maybe I'll try him tomorrow or something. But that game last night, dude, and we'll go around the NFL in just a little bit. Bonkers. At some point, right? What do you think Baltimore sports radio is like with Harbaugh today?
I saw he's blown the most leads in the last 20 years or something like that.
And he's been there for a while. But this is 15 point. The stat was 15 points or more heading into the fourth quarter with a lead. That's at some point, right? Did you think Lamar had anything to do with it last night?
I thought it was more the play calling than it was Lamar.
So Monken? Oh, I thought they were on fire early on.
Yeah, they were. They looked great.
I think the Henry fumble hurt big time.
Absolutely.
And he took the heat. Man, he was awesome. Zay Flowers taking the next step, huh?
BC.
Hollywood Brown's catch. Not Hollywood Brown. DeAndre Hopkins catch. You see that thing? How many great catches have we seen, whether it's college or NFL, where it's that one-armed – it's not the OBJ one, but it's this and the ball stuck to his hand.
Wait, did you say Hollywood?
No, I meant
Hopkins.
Hopkins. Yeah, my bad. Hollywood Brown had a big night, too. The broadcast on Friday was horrible. We were here. We had it on the screen. Horrendous. Chiefs went down, those guys.
They got the Eagles this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah.
Could be 0-2.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, the gamblers out there. We'll see what happens tonight. It's 7-3 right now. So it's 10 points. I don't know. Ben Johnson, though, has got something to prove. Did you see Caleb Williams running around tonight?
I was saying, me and Mark were saying he looks faster. Like he looked, he dodged a couple sacks in the first quarter. He looked good. 7 of 7, I think, to start the game. First rushing touchdown. Yeah, things are looking good in Chicago right now.
Manning's on this Manning cast tonight, and there was a play where J.J. McCarthy just kind of tucked it and ran. And he goes, I played 18 years. I thought it was a man. They confused me. I can promise you, J.J. McCarthy thought this was man. Just talking about how the Bears defense is just tripping up Peyton Manning tonight. Just sitting on his couch, he's tripped up. The Bears have always had talent, man. They really have. Poles has done a nice job of gathering talent. They just haven't been able to put it together. Did you see the Lions without Ben Johnson? Jared Goff looks like Dan Orlovsky.
Too far. All
right, we got in or out. We'll do that coming up next. And again, this hour of the Sports System brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray.
What's it?
to the Raiders. They're preparing this week for the Miami Dolphins, who are coming off a 33-8 loss. News: the Jaguars, they're sending running back Tank Bigsby to the Eagles in exchange for a 5th and a 6th round pick. Russell Wilson, he'll get the start for the Giants again this week. And the Red Sox play tonight in Sacramento against the A's. Garrett Crochet will get the start. Headlines: they are brought to you by Celsius Energy Drinks. Refresh your energy with zero sugar, essential vitamins, and proven ingredients. I'm Joe Murray.
Here's Pasternak, high slot. Right circle to Zaka. Sends one across. McAvoy shot, and he scores!
The Bruins play here.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
BA for this next one. Old friend, formerly rumored Celtic numerous times, I feel like. Kevin Love was bought out. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Kevin Love finally coming to the Celtics?
In. Okay, here we go. Ready for this? Do you remember when Rajon Rondo and Kevin Love were at Fenway Park together?
Oh, how could I forget, Joe? It was everywhere.
I was like, third update guy on a weekend, like at the Sports Hub at the time. But I remember writing an article, I don't know if it still exists, that one day Kevin Love will be a Celtic. Like, it's bound to happen, Skaz. It was always bound to happen. Maybe like how Bill Walton came to the Celtics in 1986. Maybe like one of those things. But Kevin Love should have always been a Celtic. Always.
Why?
I don't know. Don't ask me why. But at this point, though, do they need front court help?
They need help, Joe, yes.
And by the way, this will... The prophecy of Kevin Love to the Celtics would come true.
This is a perfect team to add Kevin Love. Just another old guy that can eat a couple minutes at the end of the bench.
Yeah, maybe they could trade him to another team at the end of the year, too.
No one wants Kevin Love at this point.
What did he do last year? Actually,
not much.
Well, wasn't he pissed that he was just he called himself a transaction at the deadline?
Something like that, I believe.
He goes, I'm a paper move is what he called himself. I'm in. By the way, you're right. He's washed. He's done. But Celtics fans would be excited, right? They'd be like, well, you got Kevin Love and you got Nevis Kyte now. It's like, Oh, it would suck. But you know what? He should have always been a Celtic. Wow, he had 5.3 points per game last year. He was a 5, so he's a 6 and 4 guy. They could use that, right?
Sure.
Yeah, they could afford him.
I don't want to see Kevin Love run around out there. Anybody else. Someone young.
Who?
Someone that can run and jump.
Who?
Anybody.
Who? They need help.
Give me the rookie. Is Williams?
Oh, Amari Williams from Kentucky.
Would much rather watch him play. Kyte, much rather watch him play.
And next.
All right, Joe, the Bears are playing on Monday Night Football right now. In a letter to season ticket holders earlier this afternoon, the Bears said the team is officially setting its sights on Arlington Heights for a new fixed-roof stadium. Joe Murray, are you in or out on the Chicago Bears playing in a stadium with a roof?
Out. I think Sammy P's at the game tonight. I should text him because I was following his social media earlier, and I was looking at the beefs and the mac and cheese that they were making out there. Oh, nice little mac and cheese with some beef in it. Oh, my God.
Had a Chicago beef on Friday.
Oh, really? Tell me about it.
It was wonderful.
Kind of bread.
It's great. It's just like a sub roll, pretty much.
Did you just go meat because you don't do the cheese?
Yeah, I had to just,
Was there a sauce on it, like an au jus?
They just, like, whatever it was, like, sitting in all day, pretty much. They just take the spoon and drizzled it all over it. It was great.
As far as Chicago goes, though, like, isn't the point of being in Chicago having the weather?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the Bills, like Chicago, Buffalo, like outdoors.
Seattle.
Play football outside.
Yeah, I know.
It's not arena football.
New England. Now, I know Ted Sarandis would love this, the old...
Kurt Warner, a big fan of indoor football.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He did very well. Out! So is this the last open? No, this isn't. This wouldn't be the last open. It was the last opening night for Buffalo last night, though.
I believe that is correct, yeah.
I want to check out that new stadium. I'd be interested in that.
All right, Joe, heading to the NHL for this next one. Rumored changes coming to the NHL schedule in the near future. This is from Pierre LeBrun, I believe. I'm going to give you all of them. You tell me how you feel. Regular season would begin in September. Stanley Cup awarded in mid-June. Shortened preseason. 84-game regular season.
In. I was just talking to Mark, our intern, off the air about when we have games, we're going to be doing a lot of work in between the games. We're cutting video, writing articles. So we're going to be doing a lot. You know this starts in 2 weeks, right?
I'm very aware, Joe.
Oh, yeah, so you'll be working the games.
Very aware.
Oh, the preseason games. Will we still have updates in their intermissions?
That is a question for the Jeremy Conley.
I'll have to ask him this Sunday when I'm with him. I'm in on this. You know why? Damn, they have an awesome playoff, though, hockey, huh?
Oh, the best.
So it's kind of like if you shorten the season, does it really impact the playoffs? No. In.
All right, Joe, headed to Home Depot for this next one. Home Depot will be selling a 7.5-foot tall animated Chewbacca for $350. Joe Murray, are you in or out? I do believe it is Christmas themed.
In.
Feels cheap. $350.
Okay. Have you ever been to Spirit Halloween?
Yeah, like the stores. Yeah.
Yeah, like they have the giant skeleton.
Yeah, they're never in the same place every year, but you always see one.
Who buys a giant skeleton?
I'd rather have the giant Chewbacca, I think, than the giant skeleton.
That's where I was going with it. If there's a giant Chewbacca at Home Depot, I'm not good at that.
Not bad.
Oh, no, it wasn't good. Nope. Mark, can you do a Chewbacca sound? No? Okay. What about just a Chewbacca as the tree? You just hang ornaments on him?
I mean, he's hairy enough, right? Plenty of hair to hang ornaments off and stuff. Why not?
Pay $350 for a Chewbacca tree. In. Right. You know what this thing's gonna sell, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the Chili's boots sold.
Who could forget about the Chili's boots? All right, Joe, you're going to have to stick with me for this one. It reads like a Mad Lib, but I promise this is a real thing that is occurring. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, we're all familiar with, confirms he has dropped close to 70 pounds to star as Chicken Man in an adaptation of Lizard music.
Yep.
Dwayne Johnson plays a 70-year-old man whose best friend is a 70-year-old chicken. The story follows a boy who discovers intelligent alien lizard musicians living secretly on Earth. The boy teams up with Chicken Man to uncover the truth about the lizards and their music. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Dwayne Johnson playing an old man in a lizard music movie? I will not repeat myself.
I support The Rock.
Machine, right?
He got a 15-minute standing ovation.
Everyone gets one of those at that award, Canes or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Cons.
Well, he said he wanted to make more serious movies. Is this one of those?
Joe, I have no idea. The lizard music, Chicken Man. I can't even begin to comprehend what's really going on there.
Lizard Chicken Man.
Yeah, so a little bit. So it's from Benny Safdie, the guy that is doing The Smashing Machine, so same director. It says the film follows a young boy who finds a secret late-night broadcast of lizards playing otherworldly music that opens a hidden door to the whimsical Chicken Man, played by Dwayne Johnson.
So these lizards play music.
But there's a 70-year-old Chicken Man?
That's played by The Rock.
Apparently so.
And then Moana.
I'm going to need some extracurriculars before I see that movie.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get high as hell.
Yes.
That might be sativa, gummy, and flour.
Give me the works.
Maybe put some oil on your popcorn. Someone didn't like my voice of Chewy. Topher. What does Chicken Man look like?
Wade Boggs? I don't know.
Anything else tonight?
Yeah, why not? We're talking movies. This one, yeah, I didn't like, but since I had to read it, you have to hear it, Joe. OpenAI confirms they're helping make an AI-generated movie called Critters. The goal is to finish production in 9 months. The budget is $30 million. The plan is to debut the film at Cannes, whatever you want to call it. All art will be fed into ChatGPT-5 and other image models. Critters reflects the kind of creativity and exploration we love to encourage. Joe Murray, are you in or out on...
Tuco!
It's a very...
Tuco is crazy!
It's a very funny headline.
Yeah, I know. But, like, is that an assault? Like, if I'm on my lawn and someone's, like, yelling at me and I spray water at them, that's assault?
Joe, I am...
I mean... What's his name did for the Eagles is more assault than that.
Oh,
Jalen Carter?
Yes. How about the Bills fan last night pushing Hopkins or pushing Lamar
that
there?
Guy should have got his ass kicked.
I saw, and who knows if it's real or not, but I saw someone say that he did a Channel 5 hit or whatever in Buffalo, and he had a neck brace on when he did it. Like, come on.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, Morgan. Yeah, who else?
You know? All right. Let's go to break. Let's go around the NFL. We've done a lot of Patriots. We'll continue to do more. But let's look at some of the other games that happened this week. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up.
as a Buffalo Bill has won the ball game here in week 1. They come all the way back to win the game at the gun with a 32-yard field goal for a 41-40 victory.
That game, man. That was wild. So this is what I had for around the NFL for us guys. As far as like watching some of the games, the Dolphins losing was horrendous. And Tua had 3 turnovers in the first half. It was over. See you later. I don't know if I'm ready to bite the Colts bait. I'm not actually at all. Did you watch the Pittsburgh game?
Patriots, Jets might be a little better than we think.
Especially if they're going to score 30 points.
That's what I mean.
I thought their defense would have been a little better with Aaron Glenn. But I think Fields is their guy. How about that pass to Garrett Wilson? Fantastic.
I didn't know Fields had that in him. And I like Fields, but I was impressed yesterday. I know they lost, but still.
I was impressed by Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he looked like Aaron Rodgers at times, which we hadn't seen in a while.
It was a comeback win. They were down. Him and Tomlin, I'm telling you, dude, they're either going to go to the playoffs or they're going to get fired together. There's no middle. DK Metcalf looked pretty good. So the Patriots play the Dolphins, then Pittsburgh. The Panthers lost. Now, people had expectations for them this year, and it wasn't a good start either.
Bryce Young didn't look too good.
He didn't. If you had to choose right now, who do you think? Panthers or Patriots? I'd still go Patriots.
I would, too. I think they have the better roster, which is crazy to say, knowing the Patriots roster.
Tet looked great.
Tet did look good.
Tet McMillan.
But they don't have much.
They really don't. Trying to think of some just other stuff around the league. Oh, Tampa Bay pulled out a win.
Yeah, Penix looked good, though. I thought Penix was very
really good.
Yeah.
He was really good. And, it would have been cool if Mr. Penis Jr. could have kicked the field goal.
Yeah, oh yeah. Tough one there. He's either really good or really... It's weird. Kickers, I don't know. It was like college kickers were good this weekend and NFL kickers weren't. It was kind of a weird reversal.
Spencer Rattler threw the ball 46 times for the Saints.
That's... This poor Saints.
Marvin Harrison Jr. had a touchdown, so that was good. Washington, the Giants have not scored a touchdown in the opening game for 3 straight seasons.
That's sad, Joe. I can't even believe that. That's. But how does Dayball still have a job?
No. My boy Billy, though, see him? 82 yards and a touchdown. Koski? Whatever his name.
Oh, yeah, Wild Bill there, yeah.
Yeah, Wild Bill. Broncos snuck out a win despite 2 interceptions from Bo Nix.
Another ugly game. J.K. Dobbins kind of saved him at the end there. I thought Cam Ward was good, though. He didn't do anything too crazy, but he didn't look wildly uncomfortable. And I think Denver has arguably the best defense in the league. So I think Cam Ward's going to be all right. I know it's week 1. We're doing overreactions, but I was impressed with Cam Ward for his first NFL game.
How about the Packers over the Lions? I think we already mentioned the Lions look terrible offensively, but Micah Parsons had a sack in this one. Jacobs had a touchdown. I think, who was it, Reed? I thought Jordan Love looked pretty good, 2 touchdowns. Only threw for 188 yards. Only needed to throw for 188
That's
yards.
kind of what they do, though. Jacobs is one of the more underrated players in the league, I think, and he just runs for 1,000 yards every year.
Tucker Kraft with a touchdown.
Tucker Kraft.
That was your call. My fantasy. I'm going to win my fantasy league tonight, even though I don't care at all. I don't care about fantasy football.
Did you see any of Joe Flacco yesterday, Joe?
I did. Unfortunately, he did throw for 290 yards. Just didn't go in a win. So the Bengals were as bad in the second half as the Patriots.
I think they had 7 yards or something like that in the second half, which... How do you do that with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase? I don't know if that's the Browns' defense was okay if they were that bad. I guess if you're the Bengals with what you've had from Zach Taylor in recent week 1s, you'll take anything just to be 1-0 at this point.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, the Texans. What the hell happened there? 14-9. Stafford did enough to win the game. He looked injured. Rams win, Texans lose. I got to keep my eye on the Texans. I have them to win the division, but that wasn't a good showing. So that's it.
Jacksonville?
Oh, yeah, they won. Hunter cut his dreads or his braids, whatever it was.
I saw that shaved head, yeah.
They looked better.
I was going to say, he didn't do anything too crazy, and they ended up trading Tank Bigsby because ETN was so good yesterday.
Right.
He had 143 yards.
Yep. All right. Around the NFL, there it is, everybody. We'll hit the headline here. I'm Joe Murray, and while Bill Belichick spoke, let's talk about it next on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, just before halftime, Bears lead the Vikings 10-3. Patriots lost last night. They'll take on the Dolphins this week. Some other NFL news: Jaguars sending Tank Bigsby to the Eagles for a 5th and 6. Russell
on that and provide some sort of explanation on that?
Yeah, well, no, it's clear that I'm not welcome there around their facility, and so they're not welcome in ours.
Allowing Patriots scouts to be at the games, and he feels like he's not welcome. Man, he's looking worse. So when the Kraft stuff came out, like when they made the production, I thought they trashed all over Belichick. I was Team Bill. But is there anybody that's been great? Let's think about this. Great people that have fallen. Lance Armstrong's one guy that he was great, and now he is just...
He didn't do anything.
Well, he lied.
The whole sport was dirty. Lance Armstrong got railroaded. I think the top 25 guys in cycling tested positive for doping, but because he was the best. Sorry that, our guy on steroids was better than your guy on steroids. That's how I feel about Lance Armstrong.
All right. Tiger Woods?
Tiger, off the course issues there, a little divorce, little caught cheating, some extracurriculars there. A fall from grace, but he did come back and win the Masters.
Okay. Who else?
Well, Joe, I think the biggest one recently would be Vince McMahon. Was certainly a guy. Well, I don't know. Vince was always kind of a villain, though, wasn't he?
I'm talking about, was great, and now is look at him now.
Brett Favre, maybe, but he was never.
And now he's
he's a massive tool.
Got huge medical problems now. Man, the Bill Belichick thing. I don't now that it's happened. I watched this week's game, by the way. My Super Box. I was able to watch it on Charlotte Radio Network, whatever that television network is. It was sad. It was a horrendous game. Charlotte stinks. They scored 20 points. North Carolina. I watched the whole thing. I had the minus 13.5, so I had to wait it out.
Joe, just remind me quickly. Not the Tom Brady statue, but Tom Brady Day. That was last year, right?
Yeah, Belichick was there.
He was in the stadium, right?
Yeah, and you might have been out last week, but they Kraft said he was going to build a statue for Belichick, too.
So, is he banned from the facilities if he was there last year?
Mike Vrabel said today that he's not banned.
Yeah, obviously he's not banned. So, he's just hurting his own players, who the whole reason Bill Belichick is going to be able to recruit is because he can get guys to the NFL. That's what I've been told, that he will get these guys ready for the next level. How are these guys going to get ready for the next level if NFL scouts can't watch them?
No, that's not. They were supposed to be the pipeline to the NFL.
But you're not going to allow NFL scouts to watch the guys you're getting ready for the NFL?
We're the 33rd NFL team.
No, Bill, you're playing Charlotte. That's who you are.
He sucks now. I will always have a admiration for Bill. I think he challenged players. Do I think he might have ruined some careers too? Absolutely. I do. In the long run, though, guys, there are some things he did on the football field as far as coaching that, that safety against the Broncos, I'll always look back on and be like, man, that guy's got it. He was always a great coach. Now, I just wonder about his mental health. I really do. Is it ego? Is it not? Is it that?
Is it ego, Joe? Yes, it's ego.
No, okay, because
hubris, whatever you want to call it,
great.
Arrogance, all of the above.
Why?
And I love Bill Belichick, but what are we doing?
This is low.
It's sad. It's petty, is what it is.
This is like Nick Nolte in Blue Chips on the playground teaching the kid, even though he was giving back. It's worse than that. It's actually worse than Nick Nolte on the playground with the kid.
I'm trying to think of another example of someone hurting their own program to spite a team that's not even playing in the same league as their own. I don't know. Is Pete Carroll going to USC very often? I don't remember that. Does Andy Reid visit the Eagles ever? I don't remember seeing that too often. I'm trying to think of other ones. Like, what does Bill Belichick want? Like, he wants to come watch the Patriots. He wouldn't do it anyways if they invited him. Like, he wasn't at the Brady statue thing. I bet you that was more about Belichick than it was about anybody else. I just, it's pathetic. I don't get it. And I'm Tom over Bill, but I'm not someone that discredits Bill being the best coach of all time. I just don't understand what he's trying to do.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know anybody else that's done that either. Like, let's just use Phil Jackson, right? If Phil Jackson went to go coach South Carolina.
Yeah, Frank Martin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what would be the reason? Why would the greatest boxing one coach of all time coach South Carolina? Like, I need another one. Like, who else is great? Like,
we can have like Gino Auriemma coming to coach Waltham High or something. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Jim Calhoun, formerly of Dedham, I believe. You know, it's like him going from UConn to UMass Boston.
UMass Lowell.
John is in Grafton. Hey, John.
Hey, what's up, guys? Speaking of sports falling from grace, there's two that come to mind for me. You can talk about O.J. Simpson, which is probably the biggest fall from grace, and the other might be Pete Rose.
Yeah, both are good. Antonio Brown's another more recent one that comes to mind where he was a Hall of Fame, all-world type wide receiver and then kind of just lost his mind, unfortunately.
Curt
Schilling, another massive, massive tool. Yeah, but the Bill one is... And then you see Pete this weekend. And Pete's coaching in the NFL, winning games. He's going to be 74 this week, I believe.
So Pete was out for a year.
Yeah.
And then went to the Raiders.
And now he's chewing gum and winning games again.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum. And I'm all out of gum.
I don't know if Pete's ever out of gum, that guy.
I was wondering about his dental yesterday.
Oh, he's definitely got some veneers or something.
Yeah.
I don't know that to be sure, but you're chewing that much gum.
What did I see this week? Oh, Amari and Hampton ran out of bounds. Did you see this?
I did not, no.
And that's what made the game against the Chiefs stay alive. Well, Marshawn Lynch is now a photographer.
Oh, I did see this now that you say it, yes.
And he's on the sideline, talking to him, hey, you can't go out of bounds there, man.
He was literally in his ear on the side. Is that allowed? Are you allowed to do that?
I don't know.
If Randy Johnson or Ken Griffey Jr. are photographing an MLB playoff game, are they going to talk to Crochet or Peyton Tolley if they need some advice?
What do you think Gerard Mayo is right now?
Hopefully doing the Joe Murray, sitting on a beach somewhere, a little umbrella in the drink, having a nice laugh,
Is that what you call it? The Joe Murray?
Well, I think, when I think of what Joe would do if he disappeared.
Mark, if I didn't have to worry about life anymore and had money in the bank, I would be in a Hawaiian shirt with a drink in my hand with a little umbrella. Even if it wasn't alcohol, even if it was just like an iced tea, I'd have an umbrella. I'd even get some lemon-flavored water with an umbrella. So yes, that kind of like Milton in Office Space at the end when he gets all the money, just him with the drink.
Think of the guy in Jurassic Park too. It's like, does anybody care? Do you guys care?
Does anybody care at all? I understand here. I just want people to know the Belichick stuff here. It used to be about Jordan. This is Bill. Petty Bill. Bill Petty. At least Joe Gibbs won with multiple quarterbacks.
Legend. 3 different quarterbacks.
And had multiple different runs, right?
Yeah, left, came back, did the NASCAR thing.
And then went back to the NFL. Man, Bill's legacy's real.
His legacy's fine. If he wins 2 games, okay,
this?
maybe.
He's
the greatest coach ever.
When he goes to the Hall of Fame, are you going to think about the TCU game?
Yeah, probably a little bit. Just a little laugh, Remember when he tried to do that? Remember when Jordan was on the sidelines pre and post game? That was something, huh?
In the booth with Randy Moss.
LT was up there.
She's the Temu version of Taylor Swift.
No comment.
He left. I use Temu. I don't know where it comes from and when it will get there, but it's cheaper. I mean, Amazon's at least there the next day.
Yeah, I don't mess with Temu.
No, I bought a lot of card stuff like, top loaders.
Sleeves, yeah.
Sleeves. Buy 100 of these for a penny. When will it get there? I don't know.
Do you think Bill has ruined his own chances of coming back to the NFL? Like, wouldn't he have had a much better shot if he just was doing nothing right now?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be like, oh man, the Tua and the Dolphins could really use Bill, or even the Giants? You'd be like, oh, they could really use Bill too. But now that he's at UNC and you're seeing comments like this and games like the TCU game, aren't you like NFL teams aren't jumping at that? But I almost think this happens to everybody where you overexpose yourself too much and nobody wants you anymore. You got to go away for a little bit. Go disappear for a little bit. Let people want you. Let people, reminisce, that nostalgia thing that's such a prominent drug nowadays in marketing and advertising. Like, if Bill was just doing nothing, people would be like, oh, man, imagine if Bill was coaching this Giants team or the Dolphins. Like, But now that's gone because we see Bill everywhere, and he's making a fool out of himself constantly.
Mm-hmm. Happened in wrestling. When's CM Punk coming back? When's he finally comes back? Maybe we can do this tomorrow, but maybe we can do our Bill coaching tree hierarchy right now. Like, who'd be at the top? Where do people rank? I kind of think we should do that.
Where's Jed Fish at these days?
He's in college. But I'm curious. I feel like we're gonna see a Bill coaching tree ascension.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels looked great this weekend.
How about Matt Patricia?
Good weekend for Patricia.
Brian Flores tonight. We'll do that tomorrow. I want to know I want to know Skaz's hierarchy of Bill's tree.
Where does Jordan fit on the tree?
Well, she's the star.
Is she the ornament at the top? Is she the star on top of the tree?
You know what she is? She's the tree holder. The stand.
She's keeping that thing upright, is what you're telling me? I don't know if I can co-sign that one.
We got to go to the musics. You listen to the 98.5 The Sports.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
I think we're going to have lift shots on Wednesday. And I believe Barth Wednesday.
I believe we will see the return of Street Team Joe this week as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So we're trying to have a little bit more of a lineup. Doug Kyed's willing to come on. Evan Lazar, I'm going to try to get on every week. Barth, definitely. Lift shots, definitely. John Serenides, Thursday nights. We had Mike Halleck last Friday. So I'm trying to keep the same guys every week.
You think we'll get DA at any point?
DA.
David Andrews.
Oh.
Thought he was good.
I would like to do that center snap thing with him.
I think YouTube would appreciate that
good.
as well.
No.
I thought he was really good.
He's very good.
I was
in the
impressed.
Air.
He said he woke up at 5:30, rewatched the game. That's what I like that. He's in.
And
taking shots at Felger and Maz.
Yeah, I like that.
In on that. Join the club.
Dude, so I work here, and it's going to sound biased, obviously, but the pregame I work on the postgame show, so I'm not going to, gloat about us, but the pregame show rules. If you have a chance to listen to the Patriots pregame show, it's star after star after star. Like, David Andrews was on there, Phil Perry, Paul Perillo, Chris Gasper, and Murray. They were with Albert Breer. I'm trying to think of who else was on.
I was driving home yesterday from the airport, and I heard Scott Zolak upset. He was drenched in the rain, I guess. He was upset. A little parking situation there. He had Mike Vrabel's towel.
That's right. I heard that, too.
He was taking shots at everybody, but I thought it was tremendous. A very good pregame show yesterday.
It's a great pregame. And I shout out to Jeremy and Capello and all those guys for what they do. I did postgame yesterday with Mark Dondero, so we landed the plane. See what happens next week. Should be a very interesting game. So Skaz is back from Chicago. You had a Chicago beef.
I did.
You ran into some Revs players while you were there?
I did. I ran into small world. I was luckily the wedding, everything was in the hotel we were staying in. Beautiful hotel, very nice, right in downtown Chicago. My girlfriend was a bridesmaid, so she was up in 6:30, 7, whatever, gone. She's doing her hair, the makeup.
Did you know anybody besides her?
I mean, her college roommates and stuff. I've met them before. Yeah, I went to one of their weddings last summer, so I knew a couple. Yeah, I walked in, got lunch with one of them there on Saturday. But so she's gone all day, so I'm on my own. So 5 o'clock, I'm headed down to the ballroom where the wedding is. I walk in the elevator, middle of Chicago. Who do I see in the elevator, Joe? 2 New England Revolution players and our buddy Adam.
Do you know who they were, the Revs players?
I don't. It was very very quick.
Were you introduced?
I was talking to Adam. Because it was such a what the hell are you doing here kind of moment. I didn't even I should have known they were in Chicago, but I didn't expect them to be in my hotel. And Adam's a guy that we're big fans of. He helps out the night show a lot.
Supporter of the show. Yep.
So, yeah, it was just a very funny, small world moment. So, said what's up to him. He was like, I didn't recognize you in a tux. Never seen you in a tux before. So that was funny. But, yeah, Chicago is a great city. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. I'm a big fan of Chicago.
So this is what I've been teasing all night about Skaz.
I'm curious about this as well, Joe.
On Friday night last week, I was here with George. And I was asking if he had his mustaches ready for the Peyton Tolley start. Who's got a mustache today but James Scaramuzzino?
Joe, I had a mustache last week, too. And the week before that. I just had a full beard. Is that what it is? Is that what's thrown you? Is that I shaved everything?
You have a mustache.
I shaved everything but the mustache this time, yes. But I had a mustache last week. I had one the week before that, too.
I did not see the mustache. No.
Yes. Mark can vouch for this. I had a mustache last week. Somebody turn his mic on?
Yeah. Did he have a mustache last week?
Yeah, well, I've been here 3 weeks. I think he's had a mustache the entire time.
So his mustache today is not different?
No, he looked the same. We've been in here talking all night, wondering what you're going to point out, thinking it was the mustache. We were just chatting how, as long as I've known him, he has had the stash.
What are you charging for those rides? I'm kidding.
And we got to go to break.
I'm kidding.
But it's because I had the full beard before I shaved.
So it was deceptive.
I shaved everything except for the mustache this time, so maybe it's a little more prominent. It is funny, though. Barth and Kevin Majori both said, mustache, looking good today when I came in.
So they noticed the mustache, too.
More prominent.
The mustache is definitely showing.
More prominent today, I guess, I suppose.
Would have been great if Peyton Tolley was on the mound today.
I don't know, Joe. He didn't look too good from what I heard on Friday night.
They smashed him.
Not good.
Well, maybe someday we'll get a picture of Skaz's mustache.
Be charging for that.
That's right. Well, sometimes, Skaz, you gotta go sometimes.
The audio will not accompany this story.
It won't help it out.
There's a lot of swears, a lot of
okay,
it's not great audio.
So 2 things. The Brazil game on Friday. Mekhi Becton was on the injury list for sickness. And he tweeted out while he was in the hospital in Brazil, "Don't eat the tacos."
I almost thought that was fake when I saw it. I was like, what is going on?
Well, he played. He had an impact. It was good. It also sounds like Kyler Murray. Maybe the Murrays got something going on, all the Murrays. But Kyler Murray had a little bit of the poops. Before the game this week, he FaceTimed, who was it, FaZe, that guy?
FaZe Adapt, apparently. Someone I almost refused to play audio of on the show.
We won't. Kyler Murray got the win on Sunday, but he woke up at 4:30 a.m., immediately rushing to the toilet.
I got to say, I've had numerous stomach issues in my life, bowel-related often, but I can't say I'm ever woken up by it. It usually happens.
Woken up by a poop?
It usually happens like when I wake up, but I'm not waking up at like 3:30, 4 in the morning to do that.
I have. Yeah, I wake up out of my sleep and I'm like, I gotta go now. Oh, you don't get the signal? Like you don't get like a?
I get it like but I'm waking up like normal time. I'll be like, oh, it's the morning. I gotta go. But I can't say I've woken up from like a deep sleep and been like, it's time to poop. I can't. That has not happened. Maybe that's comes with age. I don't know.
Oh, it happens to me. It might have happened to me recently.
Like a pee, fine, sure. That's happened every once in a while.
You've never gotten the belly rumble, and it wakes you up, and you go, I gotta go.
In the middle of the night, very, very rarely, I suppose.
In the middle of the night, I get up and take a crap. Well, that's what Kyler Murray did. He said he had to take Imodium to calm his stomach before the game. Quote, it was bad.
That'll clog you up right there. Imodium, couple bananas, oh yeah.
He did all right. Threw a touchdown pass to Marvin Harrison Jr. They've been rooming together. Do you know that? They're really trying to connect. I wonder if he was there at the time. Nobody wants that with their roommate. Birthdays today, guys.
Birthdays.
Why don't we start it off with Brooke Burke, 54 years old today. Martin Freeman, 54 years old today. David Arquette, also 54 years old. He was Dewey in Scream and was a former WCW heavyweight champion. Pink, 46 years old. Wow. Remember what song I liked from Pink? Can't stay off your life support. There's a shortage in the switch. Can't stay off your morphine because it's making me itch.
Thought you were going to give me Get the Party Started. I thought that's where you were going to go there.
No, but she had that Super Bowl halftime show.
She headlined the Super Bowl halftime show?
I think she did.
I don't remember that.
Wiz Khalifa, 38 years old. So we get drunk. Let's see here.
It is Jonathan Taylor Thomas's birthday today.
Do you know I don't know if I ever told you this story, but I had a party at my house once and JTT showed up.
The JTT? You know me?
I don't know him, but he was going to a party. He was going to school. I want to say it.
He went to Harvard, I
Harvard.
believe.
There you go, yeah. And he was like friends with a girl that I knew.
He is 44 years old today.
43.
It's right in your wheelhouse.
But yeah, he, everyone's like, dude, JTT's here. I'm like, what?
Did he do anything after like Home Improvement?
He was on that Arnold movie that was a Jingle All the Way, was it?
He was Simba in The Lion King too, I believe. I don't remember a Jingle All the Way. I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Oh, that's sorry.
Yeah.
All right, no, that's the
Jingle All the Way. I was going to say. I remember that. I don't think I've seen I'll Be Home for Christmas.
That's not bad. Jessica
Biel. It has a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not bad. I've seen worse. No, I can't actually remember. But yeah, he became a college kid and had a real life. And
yeah, good for him.
I met him. I wasn't I didn't.
You didn't fanboy over JTT?
I didn't tool time him because he was on Home Improvement. Yeah, met JTT. Might have been summer of 2003, maybe. That was when I met the band Brand New as well.
Ah. Yeah, someone you're friendly with another band
was
as well.
A punk band, yeah.
Starting
Doug
Line
Kyde
or something?
used to be in one of those bands too, back in the day. Patsy Cline, country singer, birthday today. Sid Caesar, comedian. Richard the Lion-Hearted, the former English king, today.
What year was that, Joe?
I don't have that information. The kid from Gaten Matarazzo, he's in Stranger Things. You know the kid.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Joe, it is Raven's birthday today.
Oh, I was with him last week.
Scott Levy?
Yeah, I was with him last week. He's actually, Skaz, look this up, Google it. There's a documentary about Raven. I watched the preview of it. That's what I met him. I was with him. I'll post a photo if you'd like.
Nevermore, the Raven Effect?
Yeah, dude. So Raven he had his own flock in wrestling. Great wrestler, became a producer. He had a lot of issues.
He's got some good hair, and now he has no hair.
Not anymore. No.
He had some good hair.
Yeah, I was literally with him last week.
You should have wished him a happy birthday.
Maybe I will. But yeah, I want to see that documentary. It looks really
What
good.
Is he? He looks an interesting character. Yeah, I like this. Face paint.
Yeah, he's had some...
You think it's going to be a sad documentary is kind of what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah. He's fun. He was funny, though, when Bernie Sanders, 84 years old. We don't do politics, but at least it's his birthday. Bruno Fernandes, soccer player, 31 years old today. Big Boy, the DJ. Slim Thug, 45. Zadarius Smith just signed, right?
Are you a Collective Soul fan, Joe?
Yeah.
Ross Childress' birthday today.
Whoa, ho, heaven let your light shine down. Oh no, the Collective Soul who did Runaway Train? Why Soul Asylum? Never mind. I confused my 90s bands. I think that's all I got today. Anything else?
I thought Peter Sellers is another big one I got, but that's about it. Guitar Shorty. That's not seeing much else, Joe.
Just got a text for Poop Talk.
Anthony Davis, the USC running back, his birthday today.
There you go. All right. Well, that's music's ended. No, there it is again. All right. Do we already do the headline, or do we have to do that now?
We are going to the headline.
Let's do it now here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
From the Telfair Type Studios, WBZ FM and HD1.
It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Paisley Media Group Station.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, well, the Red Sox had a home run from Trevor Story. They lead things off, and they lead 1-0 right now. Garrett Crochet will be on the mound against the A's. Underway. Monday Night Football, Bears have a 17-6 lead over the Vikings. Tough night for J.J. McCarthy. Tough night. Woof. Patriots, they'll take on the Dolphins this week after their loss to the Raiders. Tank Bigsby traded to the Eagles for a 5th and 6th round pick. Russell Wilson, he's going to start again this week for the Giants. Headlines, they are brought to you by Eastern Mass's leader in drain cleaning and pipe blending. Drains by James. Slow drain, clog drain. You need to contact Drains by James today at drainsbyjames.com. I'm Joe Murray.
Get the app.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5 The Sports Hub app. Get the app.
98.5 The Sports Hub. I want to get back into the Vrabel and McDaniels impact of the Patriots. We'll do that in a little bit. Did you happen to see the Ceddanne Rafaela catch this week? He was so excited, I thought the ball went out of the yard.
I kind of love when they do that, though, when you don't know if he caught it or not.
Yeah, dude.
He should be in center field every night.
What is their future? Rafaela, Roman Anthony, and Abreu?
I would like to say Abreu, but he's got to stay healthy. They got to be able to rely on him.
So they said he's going to miss the rest of the road trip.
He's going to miss this series and the Yankees series.
He'll miss the Yankees
right?
series, but they're hoping to have him back. They're treading water right now. They're treading. Aroldis Chapman, though, has retired 50 consecutive batters without giving up a hit. 17 straight hitless outings. I wanted to just mention this. Going into last night, they faced 4 starters since Roman Anthony went down. All those starters have tossed at least 6 innings of 1-run ball. Now, they ended up getting it going yet last night. Yesterday, Sogard had that hit to kind of help them out. They got bailed out. They need Crochet tonight.
I think a big thing, too, from this weekend is the Yankees are starting to play very good baseball.
It's starting to turn, dude. It really is. We'll find out. You worried about Garrett Crochet outside of this year?
No.
Like, you're not worried about the long-term contract or any of that?
It sounds too simple, but, like, he's built like an ace. Like, he's all legs. I've heard Maz say it. He's got the ass, Joe. He's, throwing gas with the ass. Like, Garrett Crochet fits the mold. Maybe that's too simple, but long-term, I'm not worried about Garrett Crochet. He doesn't have the Chris Sale thing where he's, super skinny and kind of the awkward motion there where he's really whipping his arm around. Like, I feel, it's never a sure thing, but I feel very good about Garrett Crochet as the ace of the Red Sox going forward. He's just got to build up his innings. He's never pitched this much before. So, next year, season after that, like, that's when I think he'll really enter his prime, is 2 to 3 years from now.
All right. I don't have a lot of Red Sox stuff. I'm going to see how I hope they just win the road trip or go even. But this weekend, though, we'll have something. We'll have Yankees, Red Sox. Will we get a Crochet start? So it's Monday, right? So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I think he'll go Sunday Night Baseball. That's what I would do because he'd have the 5th day. We'll see. I do want to get back into the impact of Vrabel and McDaniels for the Patriots. We'll do all that coming up next. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up.
Here until 11 o'clock, you can call in at 617-779-0988.
For me, it was almost, I don't know, Joe, isn't this kind of what you expected? It was worse than I expected, but it wasn't that far off. I thought the Raiders were a better team. Like, they had a better quarterback. Jake May is not as good as Geno Smith, not yet. You know, the talent on the roster isn't really there for Brock Bowers is better than any player you have on your offense. Jacoby Myers certainly looked good. I saw someone mention, too, that maybe we didn't bring up the Josh McDaniels, Jacoby Myers thing. I wonder if that had any... Were they together in Vegas? They had to be, right? Yeah, so, like, what's their relationship like? They have a falling out? Like, I wonder that, too. But
he's fighting over $1 million. He left for $1 million, but him and Amari Cooper quit.
They had a guy quit on their team, and they still beat you.
I know. Man, this Caleb Williams is flying around the field tonight. No. Okay, Drake May looks slow. For a guy that had good moves a year ago, guys, I don't know how else to say this. I wanted Ben Johnson. I wanted him. It's one game, but I'm watching two other quarterbacks that were in the draft with Drake May, and I've seen nothing but greatness from Jaden Daniels, okay? Caleb Williams got sacked 9 times against the Patriots last year, who were the worst in the league at sacks, okay? Caleb Williams looks like a new man. He is running everywhere. J.J. McCarthy, on the other hand, woof. Anyways, to answer that, we were supposed to get some answers regarding the Patriots. Instead, we're left with questions. And this from Dan Shaughnessy of the Boston Globe. Can we blame this one on Bill Belichick? Pete Carroll and the Vegas Raiders beat the Patriots 20-13. It rained all afternoon. Will Campbell got beat a couple of times. Committed a pre-snap penalty. Mike Vrabel's decision to punt near midfield, down 10 with 4:53 left, was right out of the Joe Judge, Matt Patricia playbook. Oof. 0 offense in the second half. Pats took a 10-7 halftime lead. Drake May threw an interception. And it fell apart. Let's blame the hoodies. Relations between Krafts and Belichick are at an all-time low right now. Blaming Bill for everything would be right up their alley. Vrabel, we didn't take advantage of bad football today. The New England's flat opener represents only one of 17 games. The Raiders were 4-13 last year. Carroll is a New England punchline, and with Vrabel at the wheel on the SS Kraft, this was supposed to be a season opener that told NFL America the Patriots are back. Instead, we're going to have a week with more questions about their ability to crawl out of the NFL's dungeon. Like Jerry, Elaine, and George, we love the Drake. But May's performance against the Al Davis AC is certain to generate lots of negative nattering noise. No one's expecting May to be Brady. But it would be nice if he's a Bledsoe or a Grogan. And if we need to be darn sure, he's not an Eason or a Mac Jones. May completed 30 of 46 passes for 287 yards on a touchdown and an interception. He was sacked 4 times. He was 4 of 14 on third down. His second half was awful. The Pats never recovered after his interception. New England's kid quarterback was rolling in the first minutes after intermission. 19 completions out of 24 attempts. Then the disaster unfolded. Running the no-huddle offense out of the shotgun on 2nd and 7 from his own 48, May took the snap and suddenly had Max Crosby in his face. May got rid of it too quickly. The ball floated high and was picked off. May was not the same quarterback after that. He was tentative, conservative. They didn't get past midfield until some garbage time. May has played 14 NFL games, starting 13. Only once has he won a game in which he started and finished. That was against who? The Bears last year. Ball security has been an issue. He's thrown 16 career touchdowns and has 11 interceptions. He's lost 6 fumbles. He's had 17 turnovers 16 touchdowns. Woof. Think about that. Drake May has Drake May has more turnovers in his career than touchdowns. Like, come on. The Patriots play the tomato can Dolphins in Miami next weekend. The Fish were pantsed by Indy 33-8. This is all Dan Shaughnessy.
Of course.
It will be a very long season if it doesn't get better than this. And it can't be Belichick's fault forever, can it?
I do think that's a good point by Dan at the end of the article, that eventually it's not Belichick's drafting anymore. Eventually it's on the guys in the room.
Well, who's there? Pop Douglas was Belichick, right? Keyshawn
Boutte looked good yesterday.
Hunter Henry was a free agent of Belichick. Ramondre Stevenson drafted by Belichick.
Yeah, that one, How about those defensive guys?
Barmore selected by Belichick. Did Keon White play?
Did Stephon Diggs play in the first half?
All right, so I'll give you one on him. Remember, there was before the Pop Douglas touchdown, he had a one-on-one. May looked at him. He looked at him. He couldn't get out of the one-on-one situation. So that's where I could see maybe Steph Diggs still having some issues when it comes to his knee. He didn't show anything, like as far as issues with his knee, but that separation and trying to get that one-on-one, that's Steph Diggs in a nutshell, right? Beating anybody in a one-on-one. He didn't have the footwork. He couldn't get the speed. It showed. I'm not giving up on Steph Diggs by any means.
No, of course, but I don't want to say should he have been out there, but if he's not ready, then let's not rush him.
They only used him on first down in the first half. Yeah, I'd get Efton Chisholm going next week. Maybe he was out for an injury. Maybe. But like Keon White didn't play. Or did he? I actually don't even know. Holy smokes. Oh, Caleb Williams, what are you doing, bro?
That was Jameis Winston-esque right there.
Now, that's erratic. That's one they're going to go on the film and be like, dude, what are you doing?
Bro.
It might have been, what do you call it? Procedure or whatever you call it. Anyways, we talked about this earlier, but didn't feel an impact of Mike Vrabel in this game. And if you did feel the impact of Josh McDaniels, it was run, swing pass, run, punt. Punt the Patriot. Josh McPuntles.
You're going to have to run that one by Jeremy Conley.
Please, everybody. I can't take the offensive coordinators anymore. I know it's so easy for me to do, is to just pick on the offensive coordinators. Now, Drake May couldn't throw. Is that on the coordinator? I don't think so. But do I think he's in his headset and in his ear? Yes. When you can't figure it out against a crap defense that's playing zone, you have to look at the offensive coordinator at some point, don't you? It just, I don't want to let him off the hook. You let him off the hook. Okay, Matt is in North Reading. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
How you doing, Skaz? Love the show, man. Really do. I always listen to you. You crack me up. I love all the North Shore lingo. Hey, listen, Joe, I had a great burger today. I don't know if you ever get over to Lynn, but set yourself up to the Lazy Dog and get yourself a nice burger at the Lazy Dog, Joe.
Yeah, Lazy Dog's great. I like Raleigh's next door as well. I go to Mino's roast beef. I go to Mino's, which is a good little roast beef joint right there. Fosse's across the street's great pizza.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Joe. I have to pass Fosse's to get to the Lazy Dog. So, I mean, it's tough. It's a tough call some days. I'm like, do I pull in for Fosse's or do I keep going to the Lazy Dog?
Fosse's,
it's a hard choice.
Fosse's has that sweet little sauce. It's so good.
So underrated. People so underrate Fosse's. I think Fosse's pizza is so good.
Yeah,
so good.
You ever been to Winnipesaukee?
I haven't, though. Should I stop there?
I think they're doing some work on it, but yeah, I've been there for drinks and food. It's pretty. I live a mile down the road.
Oh, okay. So obviously you live on the Peabody Lynn line, so you've been to Champions. Which, listen, I don't mind Champions, but I'm not all the hoopla about Champions as other people are, Joe.
That's a good steak. I'm Dom's all day, but it's there's a good steak.
Yes. No, I know, and like I said, I'd drive down to Chelsea to Newbridge before I would go to before I would go there.
I'd give Route 1 Grill House a look if you're they're a partner of ours, and they're owned by.
Oh, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, one of the Floramos.
Is that the one right after? Is that the one right after Canes on Route 1 South?
Exactly. Tell them Joey Murr sent you.
Okay. Hey, Joe, listen, watching the Patriots real quick is watching, like, Kip Academy and Lynn play, like, Lynn Classical on a Saturday morning.
At Manning Bowl?
And I'm talking, at the Manning Bowl, but I'm talking JV, not even the varsity.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I'll go down to my local high school and watch something like that. That is. I mean, I can watch the local kid on the quarterback throw the ball all over the field.
Yeah, hey.
May can't even find a target, Joe.
Well, I'll tell you this: St. John's Prep this year has got a kid named Vargas who's the top 5 recruit. So you might have to give him.
I saw him last year. The kid's the real deal. If you haven't been over to Danvers yet, you got to go see this kid. Oh gosh.
You ever been to Modern Butcher?
Oh. Yes. You know what, Joe? I mean, it's okay. Like I'm saying, like a lot of people hype these places up, but there's other places. But I mean, I'm sure you're a McKinnon's guy.
I'm a Dom's over McKinnon.
Right?
Dom's.
Okay. You got to get up to Butcher Boy in North Andover.
I've heard. A friend of mine. Yeah, I've heard.
And then when you're on your way up there, you stop at Harrison's for a nice roast beef.
Yeah. Now that we're just doing this because we're just giving plugs all over the place. If you want,
I have no. Listen, Joe, I have no affiliation with any of these places either. It's just places I visit.
Well, listen,
I promise.
All right, you gotta go to Swampscott on the Lynn line.
Okay.
It's called Volo, VOLO. Get the Detroit-style pepperoni. Tony's the owner. Tell him I sent you. It's the best pizza, my favorite pizza.
Is it really? Is it better than going to Monty's?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, sometimes I take... Really? All right. I'll take
Monty's.
your word.
Don't get me wrong. Monty's is a nice little thin crust. I wouldn't call it a South Shore bar pizza or anything, but it's very thin, very nice. Monty's is good.
Yeah. No, but I'll take your word. I'm going to Volo. I'm going to Volo. We're in Swamps.
We're in Swamps. Right on the water, across from Mission. Just go
in.
You'll see. You just say, hi, you Tony. Joe sent me. Just say that.
Perfect, Joe. Hey, Joe, quick question. I want to know if you watched any of the U.S. Open the last 2 weeks.
Well, I watched Alcaraz beat Sinner yesterday.
You did? Okay. It's too bad Sinner didn't really show up that day. I wish Sinner was a little bit... Sinner didn't really show up yesterday. Alcaraz played well, but Sinner can play better than that.
Yep.
Great tennis all around. Great athletes, Joe. Really great athletes.
Love balls.
If you ever have a chance, you got to get down to the Open and check it out. It's a great take, Joe. It really is. You're a sports fan. You'd love the Open.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you, buddy.
Take care, Joe. Love your stuff.
Yep, bye-bye.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Nothing like a guy leaving the lazy dog in Lynn after a couple of pops calling in.
Best call of the night.
Well, let's see if Topher can beat that. What's up, Topher?
Not much. Oh, my God. Like, there's a place called the Lazy Dog? Never been there.
Yeah, it's right in Wyoming Square.
Oh.
Very good, actually.
It's been a while since I've been down to Lynn.
Yep. It's a couple of good. Raleigh's is over there. Boston Street's got they got a little bit of a strip. They have a Wendy's, a Popeyes, McDonald's. Is it a Papagino's?
I think they got the Burger King as well over there.
Yeah,
it's over by the Stop and Shop.
Yep. And then they just made a big market basket over there too.
Oh yeah, that's right too. Over by the Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the rotary, or what they call it.
Hey, you sent me a beef today. What's all that about?
I did. Dude, that's a place down the, I want to say it's like 5 minutes from me. That's something new they're kicking out. I've tried the place before. It's actually really good. Just that caught my eye, and I was like, oh, this has got Joe written all over it.
Mm. You think Oscar listens to the show from 99 in Linfield?
I think he does. Because I think the last time we talked to him, he was very sports enthused about like a lot of things, and
he
bringing up a couple things.
He was. I wonder how he feels. I feel like I got to get his number. But yeah, he's very high on the. Well, he's very interested in the Patriots season.
Yeah, I just wish they did better than what I thought they would do. Like I kind of thought they were like a little flat. I just expected a little bit better, especially from the preseason. You got a lot of excitement, and me and you actually saw a game when we were at a card show, and we were more than excited to the fact hey, the Patriots might have something that will entice us. And then there was week one.
I at least still think that there's a lot of question marks still there to be tuned in, you know? But I think their defense will struggle against the Dolphins, even though they're horrendous right now.
There's just something about the Dolphins that, if you've seen them since Brian Flores has left the team, everything's just been marking down. I kind of have a feeling that the Patriots will actually do better versus the Dolphins, and I think within the way Tua played this week, it's probably going to be his first loss against the Patriots, and oh my God, am I hoping.
Do we lose him?
No, I'm ready.
Oh, I thought I lost you.
I know, it was long pause. What the heck?
Yeah. All right, man. Well, what was the best thing you liked about the Patriots game?
Seeing Trevon Henderson actually run the couple times he did, just the burst of speed, just the overall finesse that he has in a running game, kind of enticed me a little bit. The toss from Drake May for the touchdown was absolutely beautiful. It was perfectly on the money. I mean, defense had a little bit of light, but I feel to the fact they still got a couple things to work on.
All right, bro. Well, you and continue to. I can't wait. Oh, did you hear about Kyler Murray having the poops? Yeah. Oh, do you ever wake up? Do you ever wake up poops?
Yeah. Skaz, I'm going to tell you this, and I said this in the YouTube chat. Wait until you're 40, buddy, because after 40, you never trust a fart.
Thanks, Topher. Maybe we should make T-shirts. Never trust a fart. After 40, never trust a fart.
It sounds like a bumper sticker.
Hey, how'd you feel about them going for 2 here?
You have to.
Well, why don't you kick the field goal?
You'd be down 4.
Yeah, but so what? You have good defense.
Wouldn't you rather be down 3?
Well, now you're down 5.
Okay. 4 and 5. What's the difference? Got to score a touchdown either way.
Do you think analytics had anything to do with the Patriots punting yesterday?
Who knows? Mike Vrabel.
Stretch.
Yeah. Our boy, the greatest GM who's never been a GM before.
Who's not a GM?
Yeah.
Technically, he's not a GM. All right, let's get our final headline of the night here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, 17 points for the Bears, 12 for the Vikings. Fourth quarter. Let's see how this thing ends. Patriots and Dolphins will play this week. That should be interesting. This Sunday. Tank Bisbee traded today from the Jaguars. He is going to the Eagles for a 5th and 6th round pick. Russell Wilson's going to start again. And the Red Sox have a 3-0 lead right now. Trevor Story with a home run, Nick Sogard with an RBI single, and Jaron Duran with an RBI single as well. Garrett Crochet, 2 innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, 29 pitches so far. Headlines, they are brought to you by Cape Cod Lumber and CCL Homescapes, 100% employee-owned, your go-to independent lumber yard. Partner with CCL and CCL Homescapes for all your building needs right in Abington. I'm Joe Murray. Bye.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
final segment here. Let's look at the old rundowns, guys, see what we didn't get to tonight. Red Sox are up 3-0 for those that care about that. Started off, Patriots lose to the Raiders. Got into the Patriots defense as well. Geno Smith was awesome. According to the numbers, he was the second best quarterback in football yesterday. The highest... this was one I wanted to bring up regarding the Patriots defense. Per Next Gen Stats, the third highest blitz rate in Week 1. They blitzed 43% of the time. They had the fifth best sack rate at 10% and the 10th best pressure rate at 38%. They still allowed, though, the 8th worst EPA per pass. It was a boom or bust day for them. They allowed Geno Smith 9 completions of 20 or more yards. So I know they were without Christian Gonzalez, and I think they'd be better with him, but I still think they could have won yesterday's game with the defense. And you know what? Yesterday wasn't about the talent of the roster. It was really just about being outcoached, right? And they got outplayed at quarterback. Anything else? Like, was their defense better? Was their special teams better? No. In the end, it came down to Geno Smith being a better quarterback, Pete Carroll being a better coach, and Chip Kelly game planning for Travion Henderson. He knew him, right? From Ohio State, he knew him. Trying to find another angle to it to where maybe but the Pats, it wasn't about their roster, or it wasn't about any of that. What else do we have here? Mike Vrabel asked if they put too much on Drake May. Was it a shot at McDaniels? What else did I wanted to bring up here? Oh, so this was Josh McDaniels' day yesterday, just because, why not, right? This was the drive chart against the Raiders. First one, they punted on the first drive. It was a 3-play, 2-yard drive. The second drive was a 12-play, 77-yard drive that was a touchdown to Pop Douglas. Their next drive was 11 for 67. They missed the field goal. Then it was 9 for 44. They kicked the field goal. And then this is how the game ended. Ready? 3 for 9, punt. 6 for 36, interception. 3 for -1, punt. 3 for 3 yards, punt. 6 for 24, punt. 5 for 21, punt. And then their final drive of the game was 10 for 54 in scrub time, field goal. Punt, touchdown, missed field goal, punt, interception, punt, field goal. That was the day for Josh McDaniels yesterday. And I get it. There's going to be people who says, well, Josh McDaniels didn't throw the football, and Josh McDaniels didn't have to run the ball. Yeah, but you know what? He couldn't figure it out. He's running an old offense. There was nothing we saw besides that fake tush push end around that was different. There was nothing that was innovative. And quite frankly, I think everything he's teaching Drake May's in his head right now. When it comes to running, right? When it comes to, going through his process, and, he's got his first receiver, but then does he cycle it around? His checks weren't great either. So I'm very hard on Josh McDaniels because it was thought that he was going to be better for Drake May, and all we're seeing is a lack of progression. I also thought Mike Vrabel might have brought a little bit more of a running game, or might have had maybe more input on the offense. He didn't. The additions of McDaniels and Vrabel didn't help the team. You know what, though? The additions of Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly helped the Raiders. Nothing cheap about Chip Kelly. That guy's making $6 million a year. So that's my Patriots stuff. Tomorrow night, we will do, I already wrote it down, we'll look into this quarterback class. Again, we're watching 2 of them tonight between Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy. So far, Caleb Williams looks the part. And, of course, it's Ben Johnson, the guy that I wanted to be the quarterback. Right now, Caleb Williams, 17 of 27, 147 yards with a rushing touchdown. J.J. McCarthy, 9 of 16, 86 yards. Woof. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 3 times. Jordan Mason's having a good running night, huh? Didn't expect that. And as far as receivers go, Justin Jefferson had a touchdown. So we'll do that, and then we'll look at we will rank the the coaching tree of Bill Belichick. We'll do a little hierarchy. Who's on the top? Who's on the bottom? So that's it for us tonight, everybody. Thanks to intern Mark from Curry.